Let's go. Take that.
Jesus Christ.
Apostate Radio. Yeah, motherfucker. Sorry, go ahead.
And now all of a sudden I have a migraine. Show's over.
I call that a migraine.
Yeah. Anyways,
Doesn't make any sense. It's all right. Go ahead. Let's move along.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to Apostate Radio. I am, of course, your host, Isaiah Carter, coming to you live from the County of Kings, the People's Republic of Brooklyn. The goofball to my right on the screen here is a man from the land of cold Pete's.
And it gets hot in there too. We got some hot pizza. We got some brick oven, fire oven pizza too over here.
Listen, I'm still, believe it or not, I'm going to use this opportunity to make a confession. As much as I love New York style pizza, it's not my favorite.
What's your favorite? Chicago
deep dish.
I gotta have real Chicago deep dish. I really want to try that. I don't mind, like, I didn't mind the Pizzeria Uno stuff. I don't know if you ever had that.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure it's not great, but it wasn't. I could see myself liking the real thing. It's
Uno's is. I'm not going to talk too bad about Uno's because, full disclosure, I actually have a friend who works for Uno's. But there's one place here in New York City that actually does real Chicago deep dish. A place called Emmett's in the Village. I absolutely love that place. That place is incredible.
Yeah, try that.
Oh yeah. We will.
Let's do it.
So before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we want to thank you for joining us this evening. You can support the show at buymeacoffee.com/apostate radio. We're doing big things. It's been quite the journey over the last several weeks and couple of months now, and we're really we've had a lot of great guests on, a lot of opportunities, a lot of great conversations, and we want to keep bringing that to you. Of course, you can follow the two of us at Isaiah L. Carter on X and Nostra Chavez on both on all the socials. That's and right. Of course, our show's X account is Apostate Radio NY. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, all that great stuff. We appreciate all of your support. So tonight, you're probably wondering why I am in a different team than what I usually wear. Tonight is a bit of a New York City centric episode. We've talked a bit about some of the goings on here in New York City. You know, like every 5 minutes, it's like I'm screaming about congestion pricing. Here in the Five Boroughs, I've talked about how it's something that's going to like this is a test site for congestion pricing in the project to take it across the country. And we've talked about some of the other things like the bike lanes and all that kind of stuff, and the craziness in the New York City subway, which has probably made the largest national headlines. We've recently had Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy, who was with Mayor Adams in the subway here, and basically talking about how to keep, thinking of ways as to how to keep the subway system safe. But you never actually talk to the one voice that's lost in all of this is the frontline worker. no one ever talks to the train crews. No one ever talks to the train operators, conductors, tow operators, or anything like that. We very rarely hear from anyone on the worker side of it. Tonight we're changing that. Joining us this evening is a man I actually once had a problem with. I once had several problems with. A lot of things that he said rubbed me the wrong way, but as we actually had a talk last year at an event, and he changed my mind. This man has gone through his own personal journey of political what's the word I'm looking for? Political realignment. We all have gone through political realignments. He is currently the vice president of rapid transit operations for Transportation Workers Union Local 100. This is my friend, Mr. Tramell Thompson. Greetings, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. Thanks for having me on today, fellas.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on. Thank you. This is a big deal. I mean, we've been nationally speaking, like I said in the intro, we don't hear from the workers side of it, right? We'll hear from management. We'll hear from from like pundits and politicians who claim to speak for the workers, but we never actually hear directly from the workers. So I wanted to bring you on. I wanted to first, but before I do anything, I wanted to just apologize for for some of the things that I had to say. I wasn't exactly a nice. No, I'm serious. I wasn't a nice person.
Here we go, man. So you were you received the ire of Mr. Isaiah Carter.
He did, and that's.
I can imagine you said some wild shit, Isaiah.
I kind of did. I kind of did, but you know what? We talked, and I wanted to just let everyone know here that I am grateful that to have you on.
That's how grown men do it, man.
Exactly, and that's a lost art these days. Right. So, Tramell, Mr. Thompson, if you would tell us, sir, what brought you to this particular point? You've been in the news. You've been all over social media. You are quite the outspoken guy. What brought you here to this place? You came from, I believe you were a conductor, and you've been working around the union for a few years. How did you get to the place of vice president of RTO? Please tell us about you.
Well, if you got like 24 hours, allow me to talk straight through. I could tell you exactly how I did it, but I know we don't have that type of time. But when I first came onto the job, I came into the job in 2013. And when you're a conductor or a train operator, a lot of people don't know, you spend a lot of time in that cab to yourself. You were thinking about life, or at least I was thinking about life, where I wanted to be in the next couple of years. And I was just like, look, I'm not going to stay a conductor. I can't be opening and closing doors for the next 25 years. I want to do something to challenge myself. One of the first things that I did was sign up for college. I never went to college before. I didn't want to read books that I did not want to read. That was my main reason for not wanting to go to college. And I signed up for college in 2014. That was the first thing that I did. And I started examining what was happening with our job in the union. I always thought that we had one of the strongest unions, if not in New York City, in the country. And working here, I seen that wasn't the case. So I wanted to see how can I help change what was going on in New York City Transit. So around 2015, I started a movement called Progressive Action, which was originally, a lot of people don't know, was originally it was going to be a Tier 6 group. And for those who don't know what Tier 6 is, it's a pension system in New York. It's a poverty pension I nicknamed it that because you won't be able to retire the way that it's set up now. You won't be able to survive. It's plain as simple as that. But I said, you know what can I do to get everyone involved? Everyone is not tier 6. You got tier 4 here. And I just wanted to find a way to include everyone, and I started Progressive Action.
That's big. That's big. And you've been, and so this is from 2015 up until now. So we're talking about something going on for now a full decade.
Zay, you want to switch the cameras?
Oh, yes, I do. Yes,
I want to see your beautiful face, man.
Sorry about that. Sorry. So this has been going on about a decade for you.
Decade nonstop.
Wow.
I don't even think I ever took a vacation from this.
So what year did you get elected to vice president of RTO? When did that take place?
I officially took office January of this year.
Oh, wow. Okay. And in those 10 years, when did you realize that an adversarial relationship with the management of New York City Transit was necessary? Like, you know, when I first moved up here to New York, you know, everybody for me, I always thought that like the conductor position was one of the coolest jobs ever, right? Like I'd like to see them opening and closing doors. Coming from, you know, from where I'm from originally, Baltimore, you don't see anything like that. Like all the trains down there are one person operation. It's like one person that looks down at the end of the platform, and you know, and they open and close the doors and then move the train to the next station.
Does Baltimore have like a subway system or like the DC rail line or anything like that?
Not on the same scale.
No.
Baltimore has one heavy rail line that runs from Johns Hopkins Hospital, which is the furthest east that it goes, and it runs all the way out to Owings Mills, Maryland, which is in northwest Baltimore County.
So it's like a Metro North line. It kind of just goes one way.
No, it's a straight up subway line.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the only part that you could say is kind of like Metro North is when it's out, when it runs like along 795, because it like the two, like the subway tracks are right in the middle for the first like 4 miles. The subway tracks are like between Old Court Road and the Owings Mills stop. They're in between like the north and southbound roadways for I-795. That's the only thing that you could say resembles Metro North.
Okay.
And then we also have a light rail line that runs north-south, like kind of bisects Baltimore County, runs through Anne Arundel, stuff like that.
Okay.
But we don't have, I mean, the only subway system that comes close to New York is DC's. Washington, D.C., you could literally go anywhere in the DMV using DC's Metro. And what's crazy, they're also one-person train operation. They don't have, you know, they like I said, the conductor position in the subway is actually quite rare. I think New York City is the only city to do it. Am I right about that, Tramell?
I'm not really sure what other systems do. I thought Boston runs a conductor also. I'm not quite sure.
I got you. So when did you? So yeah. My next question to you was, when did you realize that having this adversarial relationship
immediately? Being in school car, your first days of training, they was telling us if you mess up, you're going to go down to go see the manager and get disciplined. When you have the people who's supposed to be teaching you the trade, telling that being their main narrative, I knew that there was something wrong with the operations of New York City Transit. So I wanted to see who these bosses were, who was ready to take people jobs away from them for making simple mistakes. So
Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Like they say, if you're in school car, for those who don't know, school cars, the training, that's what we call the training segment before we get on the job. It could be something simple. You don't know how to cut out a door, right? They use these fear tactics. Oh, if you don't know how to cut out a door, you're going to go down to 130 Livingston or 2 Broadway and you're going to be disciplined. If you do this, you're going to be disciplined. If you do that, you're going to be disciplined. Whenever a company relies on discipline instead of better training to keep their employees in check, something is wrong at the top. So that was my first like, wait, is this how they doing business? I want to see what's going on at the top, because this is not the way to teach people. You do not teach people through fear. If you teach people properly with great training, there's nothing for them to be afraid of. You don't say to your child every time your child make a mistake, I'm gonna get the belt, I'm gonna whip you, I'm gonna threaten to whip you.
Exactly.
You have to do better parenting and say, well, what other type of methods can I use to make sure that this individual gets what I'm trying to teach?
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that a bit. That I've never understood that. It's like, why do you want a workforce that's on edge from the moment you're hitting training? I mean, that kind of sucks some of the joy out of working, with such a, working for the first and largest subway system in the country. I mean, there is some prestige with that, right? Like being, the subway system here in New York was opened in 1904 and has undergone many changes in the 120 plus years. But there is a level of prestige, or at least there was, with working for serving in with transit. So that does seem a little, I guess, counterintuitive to what to what it just sucks the joy out of working for transit in a way.
I mean, think about it. If you have a child and your main method of getting your child to do something is punishing them, hitting them, you're not a good parent. And it's the same thing with being a boss. If you relying on the disciplinary mechanism to get your workers in check, you're not a good boss.
Yeah, you're not at that point. So I guess the next question that I had for you was, you recently, I'm going to ask this question first, because I think it has something to do with your political, I guess, your own personal journey, because you recently spoke with Curtis Sliwa, the Republican candidate for New York, for mayor of New York City.
It's a guardian angel guy, right, guys?
Yeah, guardian angel, got the red beret.
Been around for a while.
Yeah, he's been around for years. I mean, this guy literally is like, he rides the subway every day.
Did he become famous? When did the guardian angels become kind of famous? Was that the 70s or 80s?
When was that, Tramell?
Maybe
I think it was
probably in the 80s.
Yeah, the 80s.
80s, early 90s.
After some kind of violent event happened in New York City, something like that on the subway, something like that.
Yeah.
I forget. Was he originally was he originally like the face of that back in the 80s? It
was his organization.
He founded it?
Yeah, I think he.
Oh, okay.
He did.
He did for a while. He's been in the public eye in New York City for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. So you spoke with him, and I did see some of the backlash that you got for speaking with him. This is now, here's why I'm asking this question first. Have you spoken with any other mayoral candidates yet? And if so, what have they told you? I mean, Curtis Sliwa was great he answered your questions very well. Matter of fact, I think I have a clip of that. I think I have that. if I can play that real quick for you. Let me just present that real quick. Here we go. And
there he is.
go. Yeah,
On everyone. So right now, I got mayoral candidate Curtis Sliwa with me right here. And familiar territory, the subways.
That's right. This is my limo, the subways and the buses. I'm the only candidate who rides it every day, every night.
Now, I have some questions regarding your candidacy for mayor of New York City. The first question I would like to ask you, there's a ton of crime happening in the subways. How would you address the crime along with the NYPD shortage that we're facing in the city?
Well, look, I've been the leader of the Guardian Angels for 46 years, protecting not only workers, but also passengers in the subway. The workers get no protection at all. You're supposed to get 7 years if you hit somebody who works in the subway or on the buses. They don't. You get 7 seconds and they write up a ticket and release you. No, what we have to do is get police officers in the system who are going up and down the moving trains, which they're not doing. And most importantly, we got to make it so that we protect the TWU workers who are always getting clocked, always getting stabbed, beaten, and robbed sometimes in the course of their duty. And the way you do it is you get more cops. We're going to have 31,000 cops soon. That's dangerous. We need at least 40,000. The way you get it, hey, Jimmy Dolan, Madison Square Garden, pay your property taxes, $43 million a year. He doesn't. Columbia and NYU, they own private property, not just for housing, but they make money on it. That has to be taxed. That's another $800 million. That'll be enough to hire 7,000 cops, get them vetted, trained, and out there patrolling the streets and subways and parks.
Next question.
That's what's up, man. I just looked it up. He actually started it in February on Valentine's Day in 1979.
Oh, 79.
So he's been around for a minute. Yeah, I was gonna say 46 years. Man, it's got to be in the 70s. But you know, it's right on the borderline there. That's and apparently, I guess Ed Koch. Ed Koch, is that how you pronounce his name? Yeah, right. Ed Koch.
Ed Koch, yeah, that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, he was. He had publicly opposed them previously, but then I guess Giuliani and Bloomberg kind of embraced them later on. They're probably afraid to have some vigilantes.
But here's what's crazy to me. Curtis Sliwa there sounded like a Democrat would from 20 years ago, from even 15 years ago. And that's really what I want to talk about. Okay. The Democrat Party have betrayed organized labor in many different ways. I mean, we've already seen Sean O'Brien with the head of the Teamsters Union basically say, he supported Trump after a member of his e-board had a run-in with Kamala Harris and basically said, well, I'm gonna win this thing with or without you, but you better get on board. Something to that effect. He mentioned that on his interview with Tucker Carlson. We've seen the local some like with police and firefighters and stuff like that, though their unions were gutted after COVID, with some refusing to take the vaccine. You also had I'm trying to think of there's so many with congestion pricing, cops and firefighters and transit workers. If I remember correctly, they were not even considered for giving a break to. So basically, people coming in from Jersey, anybody coming into Manhattan below 60th Street were essentially paying the state to come to work. So when did you notice this betrayal of labor, of organized labor by the Democrats?
During COVID, when workers had to choose between getting a vaccine and their jobs, and it was Democrats leading that chant. It was Mayor. It was de Blasio, then it was Adams, then it was Cuomo. All of these are Democrats, right? So how can you say in one breath, my body, my choice, when it comes to abortions, but not have that same narrative when it came to the vaccine. And like I said, these were all Democrats doing it. As New York City transit workers, we weren't directly affected because we didn't have a mandate. And they did that that was purposely done because they know without transportation, this city falls apart. So it was never about safety. It was never about a vaccine. With New York City transit workers, it was about money and keeping the system running. But what the Democrats did during their opened up my eyes. And then the second time it opened up my eyes fully was a lot of people don't know, but I was in charge of national voter engagement for RFK Jr. during his presidential run. And when we were going to bow out of the race because the Democrats were creating all this law, it's called lawfare.
Lawfare, yeah.
Lawfare, right? They were suing us in every state. We was an independent campaign.
I remember
we
that.
Manage all of these lawsuits. And when we were thinking about supporting the Democrats, because when you look at RFK Jr., his whole family legacy was the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Right. So he went there. He reached out to Kamala. No answer. Nothing. Like, we don't want to talk to you. Like, I was always told, you take the meeting at least. Just to say
at the
least you take the meeting. And then reached out to Trump, and Trump was like, let's have a talk. So once I seen that, and then that let me back it up a little bit. We was really being threatened from day one from the Democrats. So they was threatening us if we go into certain states, none of our primary before they told us to go into these states, when they were already in those states getting signatures and campaigning and stuff, they said if we went into those states without their permission, when they was already doing it, that our primary votes at that time wouldn't count.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And these are things.
Yeah, I thought they were saving democracy, Tramell.
I thought the same thing. So when I was taking a seat back and seeing how these politics were really playing out, I was like, is this the Democratic Party or the Republican Party? Because I was always taught that this is how the Republican Party act, but this is really the Democrats acting like this. So it was a lot of games. Like, my eyes was opened a lot during this campaign, and I was like, the Democratic Party is not who I thought they were. They are not for the working class. They're not for democracy in a lot of ways also.
Yeah.
So I say, you know what? I'm not going to be a Republican. I'm not going to be a Democrat. I'm going to be politically homeless and go by that song. Y'all know, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
I'm going whatever party it is. Like, wherever my interests lie, I just want to know what you're going to do for me. And that's where I'm going to go. I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, Independent, Green Party, no matter what it is. What are you going to do for me?
That's smart.
It's smart. It's also very unfortunate. I didn't know that part. Yeah. Well, for one, I didn't know that you were working with RFK Jr. But to know that, to hear more context behind all of the foolishness. Like, my question is, and it kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier, why would they do that to a Kennedy? Why would they do that to a guy who 20 years ago, caring about what's in people's food, caring about the materials in vaccines, those were the free speech and all sorts of other, like, organized labor. All of these things were Democrat positions. They were things that Democrats specialized in. And now, 20 some years later, because I guess Orange Man bad, now all of a sudden we're seeing a complete rollback. It's like they don't have any core values. It's just, I must oppose my political enemy, and they're doing it like reflexively. I mean, did you get like I don't understand that. Like that doesn't serve the country. It doesn't serve anyone doing that.
I mean, I just think that with RFK, he got a bad rap just by asking questions. They said that, oh, he's anti-vax. The man is not anti-vax. The man is vaccinated. His kids are vaccinated, right? So they don't talk about that part. I don't know exactly where he went wrong with that party, because I don't know. He can answer that better. I'll ask him at a later date. But it was an idea. It was before Trump. They was hating him before Trump.
I remember when they were like talking crazy about him on MSNBC. They were calling him, a conspiracy theorist and a quack and all sorts
worm in the brain and all that.
Yeah, worm in the.
I mean, think about it. Think about it. I mean, look at who funds them. Look at who funds CNN. Look at who funds MSNBC, pharmaceutical companies, right? For one thing.
Then brought to you by Pfizer.
Yeah, right. Brought to you by Pfizer, right? So, I mean, they know that he's going to bring trouble for them because they probably pulled a lot of, did a lot of irresponsible distribution of medicine, unscientific, maybe hiding scientific findings on what they could do to people, percentages of people, and it's like, well, we got to make our money back, so it'll be fine. And then you have the food companies too, right? The big food conglomerates who are like, he's going after our dyes. It's going to make us lose money. Maybe we're going to be. If he looks into stuff, he might find that we're liable for lawsuits. So I think that was a big part of it. And Democrats are funded by those people. And I mean, like you said, it seems the party of like big business, big conglomerates, corporations used to be the Republicans. It seems like, right? And the party of the people used to be the Democrats, or at least that's what everybody claimed and thought.
I mean, let's make no mistake about it. Big Pharma run this country. Yeah, right? They run the country. And if anybody is going to mess up their profits, it's going to be RFK Jr. without a doubt, right? Yep. But it's that's his passion. His passion is health. Like Isaiah, you mentioned a few things that he did. Another thing in New York, cleaning up the Hudson River, the Riverkeeper Project, right? Nobody didn't have a problem when he was doing that, right? When he
was a part of that. Wow.
He that was his thing.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Wow. He cleaned up the Hudson River, right? Is that one of his big things? Yeah.
He cleaned up water, like the water that was going to certain neighborhoods in Manhattan, black neighborhoods in Manhattan and Harlem. That water was coming from a bad place. He cleaned that up. And he speaks about this publicly. There's a lot of things that, a lot of history with his family, like Restoration Plaza in Brooklyn. A lot of people don't know how that came about. That was his father, Mayor Lindsay, and Jacob Javits, right? They put that Restoration Plaza together to help uplift black communities. A time where people weren't thinking about Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn in the 60s and 70s around that time, right? So he has a lot of history in the community, in the black community. And the Democrats were trying to turn black folks against him during this presidential run too, without doing their research, because they controlled everything, like you guys said.
Media, CNN,
MSNBC. And I truly believe one of my mottos are, if you can control a narrative, you control a war. Yeah. So, if you got all of these different media spaces creating these false narratives, what are the people going to believe? Because we in a time now where people is not going to double check the information that they receiving. They not gonna watch CNN.
Look at headlines.
Let me go back and research that. They taking what CNN saying, MSNBC saying, New York Times. That's it. It's law, right?
Yeah.
And that, and they still winning. Let's not get it twisted. The war against that is not done. They still winning, but their arrogance didn't fool the American people, because that's how Trump got in.
Yeah, and that just real quick, Isaiah, to answer your question before too, I think it was also, it just shows how entitled the Democrats are, going off of what Tramell just said. They felt entitled to your vote. It's like, oh, we're going against Trump. We don't need to give anybody to anybody. We don't need to help anybody. We don't really have to care for the middle class, working class people. You're going to vote for us. Why would you vote for Trump? Like, you better vote for us. You remember even Biden saying in 2020, like, if you don't vote for me,
you ain't black.
You ain't black.
If you gotta, if you
what
gotta
a crazy
choose
thing to say. What a crazy. Imagine if a Republican said that.
Now you want to know what's great? You want to know
scandal that would be.
You want to know what's crazy is that during that whole time, everything they accused Trump of being, Biden was.
Yep. Exactly.
Biden was. And I'm like, are y'all not looking at the history? Oh, he wanted to put up a wall. Biden wanted to put up a gate in 2007. Right?
Things he said.
All this stuff about races. Biden had a problem with black kids being bused.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was just like real bizarre to me. And then even with Kamala, you can't criticize no one about race because you called Joe Biden a racist. And then as soon as they gave you a seat at the table, all of that went out the window.
We did it, Joe.
We did it. Staged phone call.
Right. That was disgusting.
And the Democrats they play in our face. That's what makes me so upset. Like they play in our face and they think that we're stupid and we're not paying attention. And it's like,
exactly
what's really going on. And I don't want to paint all Democrats with one brush, but the Democrats that know what's going on, why y'all so quiet?
I'll tell you why. Tell me why.
Tell me why.
Because because they get nasty, they get organized. You got to remember the vast majority of your new gentrifiers. It's funny because I was actually talking to my fiance about this. My fiance's lived in Wakefield for 35 years. There were I remember when I first started coming up here to New York was 2007. I remember what the first set of Brooklyn gentrifiers, right? They were coming in and they had just started taking over Williamsburg and some other parts of Brooklyn, and they were cleaning it up, like Bed-Stuy being one of them. And they weren't as, you had your run-ins with some, like you would have some, Midwestern, whatever, calling the cops on somebody having a barbecue on their front steps. You would have instances of that. But in terms of this antipathy, this outright antipathy towards native New Yorkers, they never really had one, or at least they would never cop to it. These new gentrifiers, these new ones that have come over the last 10 years, they seem to just revel in their they love making fun of middle class people. Congestion with this whole thing with congestion pricing. Pardon the siren in the background. This whole thing with congestion pricing. The concept of middle class or working class people having a car to get them from point A to point B, it's never it doesn't occur to them. It doesn't occur to them. They just go, well, all poor people take the train and they need to take the train. And that's just basically what we're doing. And we're looking out for the safety and well-being of all. And it's just like, no, that's not what you're doing. You're trying, you're forcing things through that people did not ask for. And so, and I can pull up examples. I've got tons of them. And you've probably seen some of my fights with these people, but this new set of gentrifiers, and then and the other thing that I noticed about these gentrifiers is they get politically active. So you have, and we'll talk about this a little bit. I guess we can kind of mix this in, but you have several groups who are specifically out to destroy road surfaces. If you're wondering why in the last 3-4 years that 8th Avenue and 9th Avenue and all these other avenues within Manhattan and a bunch of streets throughout New York, if you're wondering why they look differently, James Lindsay and I had a conversation about that regarding the last time he was here. Shout to James. It's because of one of 4 groups. There might be more. There's Transportation Alternatives, run by a guy named Ben Furness. You have Riders Alliance. I guess you probably heard of them. These are these are groups that claim to be advocates for the subway and wanting to expand transportation access to all, right? There's Riders Alliance, there's Open Plans, and then Streets Blog, which is really nasty towards cops and firefighters and other people. There's one guy who works for that organization or is affiliated with them by the name of Gersh Kuntzman. This guy actually goes and he like trawls around NYPD precincts and looks for police officers' personal automobiles and messes with their plates while they're off on patrol. And the reason why he does that is like, because to him, the cops are the scofflaws. Mind you, this is a guy who makes probably over $200,000 a year. Mm. He's got more money than God, and he's out here messing with people, putting their lives on the line here in New York City every day. It's insane to me. But that's what I mean. Like this new crop of gentrifiers, they hate the working class. And so, and it's funny because I actually have a clip of RFK Jr. talking about his Riverkeeper thing. This is off of, I believe this is off of his this is off of his own YouTube channel. We'll just play this real quick here.
Commercial fisherman on the Hudson River in 1983 when I first got sober.
Like his father, Robert Jr. is a lawyer and has a deep concern for wildlife and nature. After struggling with heroin addiction and seeing his younger brother die of a drugs overdose, Robert Kennedy gained a new direction by helping fishermen to clean up the Hudson River and its tributaries.
And I wanted to do something with my life that I felt drawn to, and I'd always been an outdoors person. I'd always been a fisherman and outdoors with wildlife, kayaking, and all that stuff. And I went to work for a commercial fisherman on the Hudson River. We began suing polluters. They purchased a patrol boat, began patrolling the river, and we sued. While I was there, we sued over 500 polluters. We forced polluters to spend almost $5 billion on remediation of the Hudson. And today, partially as a result of our work, the Hudson is now the richest waterway in the North Atlantic.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
That's actually making a difference instead of marching in the streets and breaking shit.
It's disgusting to me. It genuinely is. It's like, and that seems to be. Matter of fact, I'll find. There's something else I'm gonna find a little bit later, but I want to focus on our guest here, because I could sit here and just talk crazy about, because for me, my turning point was the Afghanistan withdrawal. I hate it. Like the way that the Biden administration completely and totally decimated all of the connections that we had over there in Afghanistan. We had been over there for 20 years. And granted, I know we had to leave Afghanistan. We had to get out. It was, Trump had set it up before he left office the first time. But when you see the Taliban coming to the airport to kill everything and everybody after they'd taken Kabul in less than 3 days, understand the government that the United States had set up evaporated nearly overnight. Mm. And because of Abbey, and at Abbey Gate, 13 service members lost their lives. The United States left over $4 billion worth of equipment, vehicles, weapons, ammunition, you name it. They left everything. They left so much over there. It was the disorderly withdrawal was intentional. But then on top of that, they blamed Trump for it. they blame Trump for it. They're like, oh, well, Trump was the one who set up who set the date. We were just he's the one who tied our hands. He's out of office. You could have said no. You could have said no. And once I read that, once I read about that,
that would require Biden to know how to update a fucking Google Calendar or Outlook calendar.
So let me get back to this, because I really appreciate you being here, Tramell. This is a very eye-opening conversation. The subways have gotten bad here. They've gotten bad. I mean, I take the train every day, and it's like there's some new like dirt stacked on top of dirt, besides everything else. It's like I've never seen the subways like I said, I've been here 10 years. I've never seen the subways this bad. I've never seen it, but like I remember like working late nights and being on the E train when I was living in Queens. I lived in Jamaica, Queens, and I saw the E train, like 5-6 homeless people to a 10-car train.
Homeless Express. That's what we call
the Homeless Express. Yeah. And the E train is the most notorious one, but they're not the only one, especially not now. 2 trains like that too.
I used to take the E train every day, man.
Oh shit.
All the way to World Trade Center from Queens, Jackson Heights.
So it's like I think of stations like Bowery, 42nd Street, Port Authority, all of these really, really nasty stations throughout the system. I think of some of the homeless people that we've had here. The homeless guy who set a shopping cart on fire, if I remember correctly. That was the one that killed the train operator at Central Park North, if I remember correctly. You know who that is, I believe, don't you?
Garrett Goebel.
Rest in peace to Garrett Goebel.
R.I.P.
There was a brave man. That was a brave man. So as we watch all of this degradation, and we watch as these transportation alternatives and these other groups who are basically trying to push everyone into the trains without taking into consideration just how bad the subways are, or pretending like it doesn't, or pretending like the issues don't exist. How has this happened? And some other things that people don't know. We've had the National Guard in certain stations. Utica Avenue, Crown Heights, Utica Avenue being one. We have more cops. We do have more police officers on the trains. I have seen them at night. Like they're like 2 per train. They go from car to car. But it's still bad. How did it get this way, Tramell? I mean, you like from your perspective as a conductor, and now as like working with the union, and now as vice president. How are you, like, what are you seeing out there? How bad is it? And what are you doing as a union to combat this?
There's many factors as to why this is so bad, right? You got the Bell reform laws, another Democrat thing. I'm not 100% mad at them for what they did, but they must use more logic as to the Bell reform laws. You have, I believe, some MTA operations. As being a conductor, they want you to announce when police is on the train, or when you see police on the platform. Yeah. If someone wants to commit a crime, they just listen for the announcements, because if the conductor's doing their job, then they'll know that there's police here, not to do nothing here, but let's wait maybe like a station or two to grab somebody's bag or pickpocket them or do whatever you want to do with them. I believe that there's not no communication between us, NYPD, and the MTA. I think that, I went through I went through some hellfire last week with NYPD and the union, because I put out a video showing police officers sleeping when they're supposed to be working. I'm 100% against police officers sleeping on duty, whether it's their meal break or not. Everyone deserves a break. Yes, you could sit down, have a break, but a police officer sleeping on duty, that's bad. You have lazy people at every job, NYPD, transit, firefighters, right? But there's certain jobs where you can't be lazy. I believe that police officer, firefighter, EMS, those first responding jobs, military, I believe that you can't be lazy in some of those jobs, right?
You can't.
Right? But there's not like I could point the finger at one person to say, oh, you're the reason why crime is up. Everybody plays a role, including the union, us, for not being 100% honest with the other entities like NYPD as far as what we really seeing down in the subways. Come speak to the frontline workers, speak to the cleaners, speak to the conductors, speak to the train operators. And in any relationship, when the communication is not honest and the communication is not clear, you're not going to get the result that we all desire. And in New York City, NYPD run this city. You know, people be afraid to tell NYPD you're doing a bad job, or your officers is doing this, your officers is doing that. As far as in our capacity, the MTA capacity and the union capacity, I don't feel that we're honest enough with them. Even though we're partners to some degree, we're not honest. Like if you have, like Isaiah, you mentioned your fiance a couple of times. In order for that relationship to work, y'all got to be honest with each other of what's going on in that household, right? In the subways and on the buses, those are our households. And if we're not being honest with each other of what's really happening in our households, we're going to have dysfunction. And that's what we're seeing in the city as a whole. We're not having these honest conversations. People are not taking accountability. We're all falling victim to something I call political tribalism, because it seems as if you're a Democrat or Republican, it don't matter. When somebody in your party do something wrong, instead of correcting it or saying, I don't stand with that, these political tribalism people actually find an excuse for the nonsense. Like I've yet to hear any Democrat loudly speak out against bail reform. Bail reform needs to be restructured. Not nobody really talking about that.
What's bail reform? I'm not familiar with this.
See, like I said, I get why bail reform went into place, because bail is supposed to only ensure that you come to court, right? It's not supposed to be used. You get caught shoplifting, like with what's his name, Khalif Browder. You got to spend 2-3 years in jail because you got caught stealing, because you couldn't make bail, right? So he ended up dying in jail. I get that, but like they bail reform for certain all sexual assaults. Like, why are you doing bail reform, letting people out of court just for that? You know, when it's something serious, right?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you're getting caught with a gun today, you're being let out 2 days later because of the bail reform to get another gun to commit another crime. Right?
I heard some guy got like stabbed. Didn't some dude like get caught, arrested 17 times, and then he ended up stabbing somebody to death, like last year or something like that?
And then I can't blame the police officers, because they playing real life cops and robbers. You remember when we was kids and we played cops and robbers, and you catch the person, all right, now it's your turn now, or I'm gonna keep catching you, right? It what's the reward to their job? They getting these people off the street, and the court system is letting them out.
Yeah, it's crazy. And
then
who's
you
responsible for that? What party's responsible for that, Tramell?
What party is responsible?
What political party would you say?
The party that's running this state, the Democrats.
Okay, just to be clear,
it's one party rule, man.
Just
like
to be clear,
New York State,
Apostate
New York
Radio.
State, and New York City are one party entities. It's all one gigantic machine.
Yeah,
they all protect each other.
They
all look out for each other. They go and they keep pushing themselves, because I've said this before. I keep saying this. The Democrat Party in New York State and New York City, they only serve the interests of maybe 5 neighborhoods in the city. Park Slope, Williamsburg, Astoria, East Village, Upper East Side. That's it.
What do those have in common?
And maybe some maybe some street animal communists in Harlem. Okay, and look, I don't. You're not from Harlem, are you, Tramell?
I'm originally from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
Bed-Stuy, do or die. All right, cool. Harlem, good for that. I can't stand Harlem.
Why can't you stand Harlem?
Oh, you want the show to run 6 hours?
Hey, I'm a big fan of Dipset though, and Killer.
Okay, fair, but still, I ain't a fan of Harlem.
And Big L, rest in peace, Big L.
Yeah, okay, all right, fair.
I love Harlem, by the way. Shout out to all my people in
Harlem. Okay, yeah. Dinosaur barbecue's nice.
Nah, man, you gotta look. You gotta enjoy the real Harlem. Go eat at Melba's. You know what I'm saying?
That's the one place I haven't been.
Go to Melba's, man. Melba's is nice.
I've been to because the last soul food place I went to. So all right, I joke, but there are a couple places I like. I like Amy Ruth's, and I like Harlem Tavern. Harlem Tavern's pretty dope.
You gotta go across the street from Harlem Tavern and go to Boulevard. You want to experience the authentic. Not saying Harlem Tavern isn't. I used to love that spot, but Boulevard is right across the street. Go experience that. All
right. Have you? Wait a minute. Has Harlem Tavern fallen off in the last few years?
I haven't been to Harlem Tavern since like 2017, but I used to love that place. I don't know, but I love Boulevard. I love Melba's. I love Sylvia sometimes for the fish and grits, you know?
I ain't had fish and grits. I haven't had fish and grits since my trip to New Orleans 6 years ago. That was good. So there was something else that I remembered as we were talking about crime, especially when it pertains to train crews. This is from last month. Daily News. 2 teens attack MTA conductor on a Brooklyn train and steal keys. This has been happening on the 7 line too. 2 teenagers attacked an MTA conductor on a Brooklyn train, Manhattan-bound F train, so northbound F train near the 4th Avenue 9th Street station in Park Slope around 1:15 p.m. They opened the door and socked the woman in the face before grabbing her keys. One of the teens was arrested on the spot, but the second boy, last seen fleeing the station wearing all black, is still being sought. I'm wondering, 1, if you're familiar with that case, and 2, if the little bastards that did that, have they been caught?
I'm familiar with the case. I responded to it. I met the conductor at the hospital. What happened was they punched her in the face and attempted to steal her keys, but she was so resilient, so strong that she fought back, and with the help of some good New Yorkers, they held one of the kids. That's how one of the kids got caught.
Praise God. Wow.
So he has a court date coming up, I believe, and he got indicted through the police testimony. She didn't even need to go there. I think his court date is in June or July. But like once again, there's a rash of kids. They smart. They pull in the emergency brake valve in the car. The conductor or the train operator go to investigate why the brake valve was pulled. These kids got keys. They go inside the conductor cab while they or the train operator cab while they going to investigate, and still in their bags with their tools. So for those who don't know, you may see a train operator or conductor with a bag. They got their escape mask in there. They have their vest in there. They have their rule book in there. They have a whole bunch of transit material in there. And these kids take those things. And then we're basically being robbed at work. And there's no security going on with it. I don't know. I've spoken with management about the train cab doors, creating new keys. But with New York City Transit and anybody who follows me on social media, I speak about all of this stuff. Management don't care about anything until it happens to them. That's a fact. If it don't happen at 2 Broadway, if it don't happen at 130 Livingston, it's not an issue for them. They don't change things immediately. Like if some of these issues was happening in that building in 130 Livingston and 2 Broadway, the next day there will be a contingency plan put in place. Locks will be changed. Everything will be changed. But the fact that it's not happening to them, they don't care.
That's insane.
Sounds familiar, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And it's funny you mentioned you mentioned Bed-Stuy. That's where you're from originally. I remember. Do you remember when when an activist, one of these gentrifiers that came in, got stabbed in the heart by by some guy? The dude walked his girlfriend, tried to walk up to this guy, and he turned on him and stabbed the dude in the heart, and he bled out right there on the sidewalk.
That happened at a bus stop or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was like 3 something in the morning, and they see this guy. He's like crashing out, and the guy walks. I'm watching. I remember watching that video, and I'm like, why is he walking his girlfriend directly to him? So, and I remember, and I also remember, like, afterwards, there was like this big thing of, oh my God, a great activist and somebody we really love the community is gone. And again, you're right. These people don't care unless it happens to them directly. They're all the same. Yeah, that is a socialist guy.
The socialist guy, and the girlfriend was like, wasn't she like fucking bragging about it a couple weeks later or something, or saying something real insensitive?
Like that. Yeah.
Something real silly. Like, oh, I feel better now. I don't know, something she was doing. It was really crazy.
Right.
Really
I've got a few $1,000 in my GoFundMe. Yeah. I feel great.
Yeah, something crazy like that she was doing.
Crazy.
I want to touch on something that you said earlier, Isaiah.
Yes, sir.
When you were speaking about gentrifiers and all of these transit groups like Riders Alliance, and they trying to turn our streets into the suburbs. And this is New York City. You need a car in New York City. They doing all these pedestrian plazas. And when you really do I didn't research the other 2 groups. I'm gonna look into them too. But when you look at Riders Alliance, most of the people that make up that organization are not from New York City.
That's crazy,
right? They not.
Don't surprise me.
Except I think the girl that runs the whole entire thing, but the people up under her, they from Idaho and this place, that place. I'm like, of course y'all don't want cars. For the most part, when you look at Brad Lander is not a New York City resident. I feel like in order to run in New York, you have to be born in New York. Like they need to do something, because these people is coming here and changing up the New York culture, the cloth that built this city. That's why I'm glad when Trump came in, Trump said, yo, we got to do something with congestion pricing.
That to me, and I want to talk about this. We're actually supposed to be hosting a debate here next week, in fact, with one of the guys who runs Riders Alliance, Danny Pearlstein.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Provided, of course, because these people have a nasty habit. These groups. They'll say something, you step to them, like, okay, you want to challenge, you want to battle, and then they back out. Okay. They're like, oh, well, they find reasons to cancel, or they'll say, or they'll block you and talk and just make up lies and shit, like, behind their back. That actually just recently happened, and I'm gonna pull that up. But I have never seen congestion pricing it's economic apartheid. It's economic apartheid. And I'm not running away from that statement. When people from out of state And I'm saying this as a native of Baltimore. Okay. When I first moved up here, I never wanted to change anything about the culture. I love New York City. I love being here. This is like New York City was a place that has honestly made me a better man. It's made me a better person. It's made me a better uncle, a better son, better brother to the rest of my family, a better earner. I love New York City with all of me. And the one thing I did not do when I first moved up here was I didn't want to change the culture because it's not my place to. It wasn't my place to. So when I see these people coming from the Midwest, coming from all of these states across the country, and they have this, they all have this notion that I come from a different place. I have these boutique degrees. I have all this knowledge, this knows, and I can tell you, I have the right to tell you, filthy native, how to fix your shit. And it's disgraceful to me. It's like again, this guy, matter of fact, I'm gonna look for it right now because this dude pissed me off so bad. And then he works for the governor. This guy works for the governor. Like, he's out here literally saying that. Hold on, because I didn't post much today, so it'll be easy to find this. But this guy works for the governor. Hold on, give me just a couple seconds here.
All right, Tramell. So you said the people in Riders Alliance, most of them or a lot of them are like live out of state, or they moved out of state to New York City?
They came from other cities to live here.
Okay, I was gonna say it's like they're left. The leadership of them are like live out of state, because like Isaiah's talked about how there's people in Virginia, people like who get involved in these debates about things that are going on in New York City with New York City commuters, like congestion pricing, and bike lanes and all that stuff. And it's like, what the hell are you doing, commenting and organizing politically from another state, sometimes very far away, about what New York commuters have to deal with? Like, you should have nothing to do with that whatsoever. Get the fuck out of here.
I think it's an evil empire. I think there's a group of people that's saying we want to change the culture of New York City. And they know if they could change the culture of NYC, they could do it anywhere.
Well, they are trying to do that. It's a globalist thing. It's a globalist.
It is globalist.
Like
it
WEF.
is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. No. It is absolutely a globalist thing. The C40 project, I can pull that up actually, where they talk about regulating what people eat, regulating people's red meat intake, changing streets over to be more bike friendly, and they do the whole walkable cities thing. And then be
eating bugs soon.
Yeah. Well, listen, electing Trump stopped that. But I found
for now. We'll see. But they're not now yet, man. We'll see what happens.
We're not out. Well, Klaus Schwab actually.
He stepped down. That's right.
He didn't just step down. He fled the World Economic Forum.
Really?
He fled. Yeah, because he's under investigation right now for a bunch of financial misappropriation.
Oh God,
but
get him.
This is the guy, Avi Small. This guy is Kathy Hochul's press secretary. And he's like, literally no idea what he's talking about. Low-income New Yorkers rely on subways and buses to get around. They also rely on Medicaid, Head Start, and free school meals, but crickets from Duffy on the Doge cuts. To which I responded with, all this dickhead has to do is spend 15 minutes in Brownsville, East New York, or any other part of New York City that isn't filled with snobby, affluent fools like himself, and he'd realize that lower income New Yorkers have cars too.
You want to know something?
Yo.
Whenever they trying to that, like, I hate when these powers that be try to use low income people as pawns to make their arguments.
Same.
Right? I hate it. And like, to go back to the congestion pricing, there's three things I have a problem with that. One, the environment, right? You don't want nobody to drive in these areas. Basically, you want them to take the train there. What's gonna happen to the outer boroughs with the train, with the car and the pollution, right? It's the same thing with Robert Moses. I think that it's a appendage of that. The second thing is the MTA is getting the money. The MTA has proven to us time and time again that they're not good with handling money. There's no accountability. So you're going to give these people billions of more dollars to see that. This is the thing that New York City, I don't know where most of your listeners are from. I'm hoping they from the city. Listen, people don't know that the transit authority spends a lot of money on lemons. They buy trains that falls apart within a couple of months. That's supposed to last 30, 40, 50 years, right? Wow. They buy a lot of trains that they spent $30 million on some steps in Times Square. $30 million.
Jesus Christ.
Right? You have contractors who's purposely milk. If you want to be rich, start up a company, get a contract with the MTA, because they don't monitor nothing. It's not their money. It's your money. They spend it.
Yes.
They do not care. The only time the MTA cares about money is when it's time to give the workers contracts, in which we deserve, right? Now, you have MTA bosses all the time. Jan Oliba, Demetrius Critchlow, whoever the new senior vice president of subways and buses are right now, right? Oh, on-time performance is 90%, 95%. This is the only job where the performance goes up and the people who makes the performance goes up don't get nothing, but the bosses who do absolutely nothing gets the bonuses and the raises. How else do you measure success of a company? Right? In a regular corporation, oh, we got a surplus of $100 million this year. People go get bonuses. The frontline workers, we don't get nothing. We just get more discipline. They controvert our workers' comp cases. They violate FMLA law. The MTA, to be honest with you, is one of the worst companies in the world to work for if you care about law and order.
And it's run by the governor of the state of New York, right? State of New York.
Absolutely.
So I mean, this is supposed to be, and they're pretty far left governor, right? Governor's office. Is that right, guys? Pretty farther left.
Oh, yeah.
Democrats.
Oh, yeah.
Aren't they supposed to be the ones that are supposed to not make it so this isn't the case, where the workers are taken care of, unions are taken care of, we share the wealth? Isn't that what's supposed to be the case with Democrats, especially progressive and farther left Democrats, socialists, democratic socialists?
I mean, I thought social. I don't tell you the truth. I don't spend too much time on the socialist, liberal. In my view, is right or wrong. Do it make sense or it don't make sense? Right. But that's more of a socialist idea.
That's what they promise. That's my point. That's what they promise. Just to say, like, if you vote for us, you vote for us, guys. We're gonna take care of you guys. Like, the Republicans don't care about the working class. Republicans only are greedy. They want to take all the money. That's what we've been told for 20, 30 years at least, right? Here, how long has the Democrats been in control of New York City and New York State and the MTA?
For the better part of, I think, 15 years now.
Yeah, and the fact that you're telling me this right now says, why would you trust the Democrats to ever change? And well, we got to go farther left. We got to be more progressive. We got to get AOC and those type of people in. I don't know. It doesn't seem like that's what's going to happen. So that's just something I want to bookmark over here. That that the proof is in the pudding. And then you look at California, right? California is what it costs, like a freaking couple $1 million to build a bathroom or something like that. And they're like $20 billion or something like that for like a rail that never got built.
Look, now you mentioned that, right?
Yeah.
I see high-rise buildings going up faster than the elevators that's supposed to be for the ADA access to the subways, right? So think about this. When someone is building commercial space or they building residential space, the faster it go up, the faster they get into business, right? When you look at the business that happened in the subways, it's free money, right? So it's not about getting it up fast. It's about these contractors milking, not the MTA, but the taxpayers, because milking the taxpayers, taking their time, and everybody getting rich.
And plus, they have no competition. MTA. So it's like we could do whatever we want. What are you going to do? You're going to start, start a new company and put in new subways and do all these projects and get us out of business? No, you can't do anything. Just shut up.
If the MTA was your traditional corporation, they would have been out of business many decades ago.
Oh yeah.
I've never understood that. I mean, it took 8 figures to build the 7th. I think it took this. There's a new passageway that opened up a few weeks ago in Grand Central. The new hallway, a new set of steps to go down to the 7-line platform at Grand Central. And I think it took something. It was 8 figures, but I know it was over $30 million. Over $30 million, and they're still not done this gigantic project. It's like I think they've been working on Grand Central 42nd Street for like 3-4 years now. They replaced one of the escalators at the end of the platform, I think, and now they're working on the other one, and I think that's going to take another 7-8 months to do. Because it's a set of 2. You go up one, and then there's a shorter one that goes from the landing up to the mezzanine. So I've just never understood. I mean, you've got that project that's running over crazy. I think the 2nd Avenue subway situation, phase 2. When is that supposed to get built?
I don't know. How long did it take for phase 1 to get built? Do you know that?
Oh, 70 some years.
All right. Now look,
70 years.
I want you guys to think about this real quick, right? And I want your listeners to think about this. Mm-hmm. If the MTA was in charge of rebuilding back up the Freedom Tower after the World Trade Center went down, if they was responsible for building the Freedom Tower, they would still be in the basement right now because these contractors will be milking them. It took 8 years for them to build the Freedom Tower, right? Why does it take 2-3 years to put elevators in the system in New York City Transit? Right? Just think about that. The Freedom Tower is what? How many floors? Like 100 and something floors?
Something like that. I can't remember exactly.
I think it's like 80 something like that. I used to work at Freedom Tower. I think it's like 80, 90. I used to be on the 63rd floor.
How many elevators does it have?
A bunch.
That I don't know.
A lot. I mean,
think about it. If
there was, I think, like 9 just like in the area. I think it was like about 9 where I was in, like just a couple different rows, something like that.
If the MTA more than that responsible for building that, they would still be in the basement, and then they would still talk about congestion pricing. Oh, now instead of it being from 60th Street and below, we got to do it in Brooklyn. Now we got to do it in Queens. Like, it's criminal to what's happening.
It is
with
literally probably
transit with the MTA, and nobody's talking about it.
Why is it? Why do you think it takes so long? I mean, it's corruption, probably greasing of palms. People are like, well, you need to wet my beak a little bit, or I'm not signing this over or whatever. But what do you think is really holding it up specifically, like the details?
You just said it.
Yeah, that's basically just old New York City corruption.
Nothing else makes sense.
Yeah.
How can a high-rise building go up faster than the MTA project?
Mm-hmm. And it makes no sense. It makes no sense. If I may, since I have you, I think one of the last like formal questions I had was any news. I know if I remember correctly, I think contract negotiations are supposed to begin soon for the workers. Was just wondering if you had any news about that, something that you can information that you can provide.
No, there's no updates with that. The contract is up in 2026.
Oh, in 26. Okay.
So we're going to start activating the membership. I think we're going to start a little bit earlier this time, just to get people ready for whatever, because right now we in some trying times. The MTA is not respecting us as the workforce. There's a lot of moving pieces, and we just got to be organized. If you're not organized, you would get nowhere. So I think we're going to start organizing a little bit more earlier than prior contracts.
I got you. Now, the other thing that I wanted to ask you about. as we've again talked about congestion pricing, it seems like it just seems like it's one of these things that we as New Yorkers just can't escape. What has been some of the feedback that you've gotten from transit workers on your end? Like in particular, like the ones who might be coming in from New Jersey and Connecticut and places like that. What's the feedback that you're getting about it, and how are they being affected?
Oh, they upset. I mean, you don't even have to worry about the people who's coming in from, Jersey or Connecticut. We have depots in the congestion zone. We have reporting locations within the congestion zone. So picture working for a company and they taxing you again, right? The workers, right? So a lot of workers that work in those congestion zones or got to pass through the congestion zones to get to the other boroughs or whatever the case is, they're upset. Because what a lot of people don't understand is that they think that MTA means ATM. I thought that when I first came here till I got my first couple of checks. I was like, well, where's the ATM at? The truth is that not only MTA workers, but city workers in general now cannot afford to live in the city in which we work, in which we serve. We're being outpriced. You got all of these residential buildings going up. They talk about affordable housing. It's not affordable for city workers. It's affordable for people who's making $300,000-$400,000 a year, which is not the majority of the city workforce. So in this city, the workers who make this city pump, who to make this city run, we can't afford to live here, right? Mm-hmm. And they keep adding more taxes. They keep the fares going up. And people say, well, you're a transit worker, you get a pass. What about our family? They got to pay to get on the train, right? Exactly. That's taking money out of our household, right? So
let them eat cake.
Yeah. And
that's the old motto, man.
Again, the Democrats, again, when you look at what happened during COVID, oh, they are the heroes. They banging pots and pans and all this other stuff, but you still fired these workers. I never seen a superhero get fired or heroes get fired for making a choice for them and their families, a logical choice, right? I mean, the Democrats did us dead wrong. And once again, I'm not broad stroking all the Democrats. I have some Democrat friends that stand on my side. But the majority of the Democrats, I believe silence is compliance. And what the head of the party is doing, like what happened with Eric Adams, me and him had a back and forth in text messages 2 days before they raided, the first raid happened. And it was his party that got him raided because he was talking about the migrants. And he tried to tell me, well, Tramell, you don't know what you're talking about. Then 2 days later, he get raided. And I said, I told you so. So the Democrats are willing to eat their own.
Bruh, I'll never forget. I'll never forget a conversation that I had with a Democrat operative in Jamaica. I was in Jamaica last year with my fiance. And I remember this conversation well. And I remember telling him, because I was trying to tell him that, this is a guy who works in real estate, right? Works in real estate. He has held elected office before in Florida, I believe. This guy's worked in Democratic circles for years. And I told him flat out, I said, I am not voting for Kamala Harris. I won't do it. I cannot vote for Kamala Harris. I said something, and I was saying this from some of the things that the progressives, that the far left in the party have shifted, right? I used to, the people who were pro-choice, now they're no longer welcome in the party, because now you have to be pro-abortion. Mm-hmm. Okay. and even that got thrown out the window because my body, my choice, and religious exemptions and all the other stuff that Democrats used to stand for, all that got thrown out of the window with you take the vaccine or take the vaccine or get fired. I know cops who I know of police officers, NYPD guys who 2 weeks, within a 2-week span, it went from, hey, man, talk to your doctor, see if you need it, get a second opinion on the vaccines, to take it or you're fired. In 2 weeks. So you had all of the, so again, the problem that I have is the Democrats betrayed everything. They betrayed every single one of their core. And like I said, when it comes to labor, when it comes to that, they have no problem eating people who once supported them. I can't tell you how many times, Tramell, I've spoken to people, friends, like friends of mine, people who I know. When you tell them that I used to be a fervent Democrat, 2020, I did more. I don't talk about this a lot. 2020, I did more to get Joe Biden elected than I had ever done for any other candidate in my life. I donated money to his campaign. I starred in that America the Beautiful video that I've told people about. The victory video for Joe Biden. I was supportive of Democrats and their causes for years, 15 years. And then but when I tell them now, hey, something is fundamentally wrong with the Democratic Party and I cannot support them anymore, they forget all about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like none of that actually matters. And so now with it, and again, it's just like when you see Democrats going crazy with, it's just, again, opposition. They have opposite. It's like they all have oppositional defiant disorder now. Whatever Trump says, I have to oppose it. Whatever a Republican says, I have to oppose it. And I'm like, what are you seeing in your own in your circles? Just if you care to share.
My audio cut out. I mean, your audio cut out a little bit. Can you repeat that last sentence?
Yeah. What are you like within your own circles, within your spheres of influence? What are you like? What are you seeing in terms of people's opinions of the Democrats? Like, do you see a change? And if you're not seeing a change, what are you seeing in people around you who are still supportive of Democrats?
I'm definitely seeing a change because most of my friends are professional people who worked for the city. So, and not even counting the people who refused to take the vaccine, there's a lot of people who took the vaccine but felt like they was forced to take it so they won't be homeless, so they could continue to provide for their family. I think the Democrats underestimate those people, and that's why some of New York went red for Trump, right? Like never before, right? Yeah, I think now, ever since the whole Kamala thing and how this last election transpired and how they tried to get the attention of the Black community, people are starting to question things. And I think that's a good start, because before it was whatever the Democrats told us, we believed it. And we still have a large faction of those people out there. But I'm seeing around me more when the Democrats say something, now it's being questioned.
That's good.
There's not too much blind loyalty going on here. So the same people who, like, we're automatically, we were wired, at least I was wired growing up, question everything that the Republicans do, question everything because they mean no good. Now I'm starting to see it happen with the Democrats.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've said for years that I've said for years that they were making a truth teller out of Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I also want to
go ahead.
I was going to say real quick. I think that's a trend that's going on where, it's like people say, "How could you vote for Trump? How could you vote for Trump?" And it's like because we know what the Democrats already are doing. So it's like the best thing we can do is just we got to have a change somehow. Just maybe he's going to do all this bad stuff you're saying, but we already know the bad stuff that the Democrats are doing and how they don't give a shit about people like Tramell and so many other people, so many other working class people, and instead they care about teaching kids how to become transgender in middle school, or or making everything about race and everybody being racist towards each other and creating tribalism, and paying for immigrants to live in our country with our tax dollars. Like we already know what they're doing. We already know the media lies to us. We already know the Democrats lied to us. So what else are we going to do? There's only one other party that we could vote for really that could win. So we got to give Donald Trump a chance. And if he fucks up, then maybe we'll look at the other side. But I don't know, man. It's kind of like they have us by the balls sometimes.
See, I'm gonna tell you what boggles my mind though with this whole Trump thing. You would think that Trump never ran before and won. They had us fearing someone that, oh, you're not going to survive. Well,
right.
I survived quite fine during the first 4 years. And I'm not saying that, Trump is the answer or, everything he does is right. I don't support a lot of what Trump do. But once again, I feel like when you have the problem in your house, it's more dangerous than having that problem outside on the street.
Exactly.
Right. So if you have someone in your home that you got to sleep with one eye open, that's more of a problem than I'd rather know the problem is outside my home. I'm going to get some good rest at home. Right. But when that problem is in your house at your dinner table, right, that's more dangerous. And that's how I view the Democratic
totally. And there's got to be some accountability. It's like, what do we do? Just continue to let them for 15 years like they are in New York State, just be corrupt and screw everybody over and waste our money? At some point, there's got to be like, well, are we really going to go vote for them again for another 2 years, 4 years, and again and again and again? Or we have to vote for the other team just to see. Maybe something changes. Maybe something will get better.
Just
so
like
I don't know what they expect.
When you look at the mayoral race with Cuomo, right? Now, look, I'm going to be honest. I like Cuomo because he presents himself as a man, right? It seemed like there's no men in these races anymore.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Right? But as a labor leader, I can't vote for him because he implemented Tier 6. That hurt us.
As governor.
Yeah, that hurt us more than anything. And then when we had the opportunity to create changes to Tier 6, he vetoed it in 2019, I think, right? I can't vote for you because you're not for the labor class. So Cuomo, his playbook is the same. He's going to go to churches. He's going to get black women. He's going to do all this stuff. His playbook never changed. But as anybody that's involved with labor, all you labor unions out there that's endorsing Cuomo, ask him about Tier 6, right? The first people can retire on Tier 6 in 2037. I guarantee you they will not be able to retire with the way that it's set up right now. And Andrew Cuomo did that to us. He did that to the future of the city. He wanted to create a mechanism to where if you do retire, you only go enjoy maybe like a year or two, because you're not going to be able to go out at 55 years. Where you going to survive in 2037 with $40,000 in your pension? Where you going to survive? You can't survive now. Where you going to survive in 2037 with that, right? So, like I said, I like Cuomo because he's a man, but his politics, his labor politics definitely hurt this city. And if he did it on the governor level, I don't see him changing on the mayoral level.
I mean, I see, if you want my honest opinion, because I'm not a fan of Cuomo either. I'm not a fan of his at all. I hated what he did to Andy Byford.
Yes.
I hated what he did to Andy Byford. Oh my God. I remember following that and remembering how decent of a man Andy Byford, the former president of New York City Transit, and like that whole debacle with the Canarsie tube was just, like that just showed me what Cuomo was about.
Mm-hmm.
I see Cuomo right now. I only see him for one thing and one thing only, and that is you vote for Cuomo to get all of the communists off of the ballot. Because we got a lot of fucking communists on this ballot. Zohran Mamdani, okay, the smiling guy. You don't even know where the fuck this guy is even from. Okay, his parents are Ugandan, and he's clearly Arabic, of Arab descent. This guy was on with John McCary on the Finest Unfiltered podcast. Shout to those guys. He was on there and he asked Zohran directly, are you going to reinstate police officers NYPD officers who were fired for not taking the vaccine? Zohran told him no, flat out. Because the appearance of authority had to be upkept.
But he also said that he wanted to raise minimum wage by $30 by 2030.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, good luck.
That's
so
not happening.
you want to raise minimum wage to $30 an hour. Oh, and let me guess. That's right before everything gets automated and things like CBTC get fully implemented to where you don't need workers. The subway, you just hit a button and you run itself. So, sure, you can get nice job if you can get it. You want to make
we have a bill in Albany right now addressing the CBTC.
Oh,
yeah.
Talk to me.
So, the one person train operation will not be on any train more than 300 feet. And I think that will also include the shuttle trains where it's currently opto, because I think they said when they measured it was over 300 feet. And shout out to Kevin Parker. He's had that bill in Albany year after year after year after year after year. He's running for comptroller this year too. So he has always had transit workers back. But if we get this bill passed, we won't have to worry about CBTC.
Let me ask. So let me
I
ask
mean,
you.
not CBTC. Opto.
Let me ask you this question. Have you spoken? I don't know if you answered this question before, but I'm asking again. Have you spoken with any other mayoral candidates for New York?
No, but Jim Walden had reached out to me. I didn't get back in contact with him yet. He sent me a text. But I'm willing to speak with any one of them, especially Cuomo. I'm working on something sit down with Cuomo. So hopefully within the next 2-3 weeks we can make something happen.
That's good. I mean, I look at it this way. We got them, like, this is the party. How do I put this? I'm feeling a little off, but I really want to get this message out. The Democratic Party does not care about Black people. They do not care about workers' rights. All that's gone. We have a governor right now who said this last year. I gotta play this. No, y'all gonna hear this. Y'all gonna hear this right now.
Young Black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word computer is. They don't know. They don't know these things. And I want the world open up to all of them, because when you have their diverse voices innovating solutions through technology, then you're really addressing society's broader challenges.
Yeah. That's our governor.
She made me so upset when she said that. Kids in the Bronx don't know what the word computer is. She didn't say they don't know what a computer is. They don't know what the word computer is. And then what she was doing before that, she was out in the streets hugging black kids for optics. Right now, if kids in the Bronx don't know what the word computer is, and you're the governor, basically the president of New York State, then what does that say about your leadership?
Or your education?
Yeah, because I don't want to hear, oh, I just became governor. You was the lieutenant governor of Cuomo.
Yeah.
So
and a lot of times, lieutenant governors probably doing a lot more work in a lot of ways in the weeds. You know,
I mean, I would like to know at what point in her life did she didn't know, according to her, kids in the Bronx didn't know what the word computer is. When did you figure that out? And then how are you addressing that? Are you opening up any state-of-the-art computer labs in the Bronx? Like, how are you trying to rectify this issue? Right?
Well, they have a Pride Month for the whole month of June, and putting genderqueer in the libraries. So that's
what they called it, transgender reading hour or something like that.
The
drag queen story hour.
Drag queen story hours.
Yeah, that's what that was.
You got money for all of this, right? But even with the migrants, right? With the mayor, when he was questioned, $6 billion on migrants, but y'all don't have money to house these EDPs. You don't have money for after school programs, sports programs to get these kids off the street so they won't be robbing and surfing trains and things like that. No computer labs like that. You know, if I'm the governor and I'm saying that these kids are deficient in this right here, I'm building something.
I'd be ashamed to say that shit if I was lieutenant governor.
What she should have said, if she felt that way, was kids in the Bronx don't know what the word computer is, but we're about to start building computer labs. We're going to start doing this. She ain't say nothing, right? And it's these are I would have expect a Republican to say that. Once again,
things have changed, man.
But no. I got to disagree with you there. It's not that things have changed. It's just that now Democrats can't hide it anymore.
That's a good point.
Let me ask you a question, Isaiah.
Good correction.
Yeah.
Actually,
let me ask y'all a question.
Yeah.
Do y'all think that we come into a part of history? Because remember, the Republicans freed the slaves. The Republicans, more blacks was Republicans back then.
Lincoln,
Democrats, right? Lincoln, right? Now we're coming to the point where it seemed like it's switching back again. Like we starting to see the tea leaves.
But Democrats were also the segregation.
They were
the South,
I think
Southern racist people.
Yes. So
it went deeper than that too. It was longer than that.
I personally think. Okay, let me. Now you got me thinking. Do I think that there is a realignment? Yes, I do believe that there is a political realignment in place. I believe that it is happening right now. It happened to me. Like I said, I was a faithful Democrat from 2009 from 2008, because that's when I voted for Obama the first time. I voted for Obama the first time in 2008, and I voted for Trump in 2024. Okay, I was a faithful Democrat, like for all that time.
Me too. I was wearing the pussy hats and everything.
No, you weren't.
Yeah, the big pink pussy hat. I was wearing that every weekend, going to parades every week.
Nick, really? Really? No, come on, dude.
No. That's one thing I never was. I was never ever woke, man. Never ever woke.
So
I was a Democrat for a long time, and even a Bernie supporter, but I was never woke.
So do I believe that a realignment is here? Yes, I do. Because like you said, Tramell, people are looking at what's going on right now. They're looking at the Democrats completely, for lack of a better term, shitting the bed on every single policy priority that they once held. everyone's starting to see that the Democrats do not have they don't have a set of standards. They don't have a set of beliefs. We're talking about people who basically their beliefs only exist so long as their in-groups approve of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Democrats are far more tribal. If you speak out of turn, if there are corners of social media where if you speak out of turn about Kamala Harris, they will call you all sorts of sexist, misogynist, racist. If you're a black man, they'll come after you. Even worse if you talk about that woman.
Oh yeah.
If you call Kamala Harris a drunken commie retard, and yes, I have said that multiple times, and no, I'm not taking it back.
You're not the only one.
I'm not the only one. Yeah, shout to Michael Malice. If you say that Kamala Harris is a drunken commie retard who was only there to be the face of the revolution, because I'm telling you right now, Harris, it would have been the same thing. It would have been the same thing in the Harris administration that it was under Biden. Harris would simply be the figurehead. Harris would just simply be there to give all the street animals, the street animal level communists, all of the feels.
The DEI mascot.
Yeah, she's just the fucking mascot.
First women president.
Tim Walz, I'm telling you right now, Tim Walz was the one who was going to run this country. Tim Walz was going to be the leader of the revolution.
Tampon Tim be running America.
Tampon Tim would have been the face of the revolution. I'm telling you that right now. Because that man was a teacher in China. He was teaching kids in China during the year of the Tiananmen Square incident. That man and his wife used to go over to China all the time. They learned directly under the CCP.
He probably brought COVID over here with him the last time he went over there.
but the point is, a Harris administration would have been her being the figurehead, her not running anything because she's literally too fucking stupid to actually do anything, right?
Yeah.
And what made me truly upset is how many people still defend her. How many people still like black people who will still defend it? It's not as many as it was before, because people who I've spoken to look, they'll see something that Kamala says in the last 3-4 months or so, and they look and they're like, oh my goodness, what like what like this happened? Like she said that, and then but thankfully, the only ones who are really defending her, okay, are creeps like this.
We're in the middle of a hostile government takeover. I want to talk about it, but I'll be late for work. And if you say, wait a minute, do we have to stop this? We had one, but she didn't want that lady in office. Hostile government.
Off is a direction you can fuck.
At least they can make TikTok videos. So
yeah, they make those are the ones who are defending, who still defend Kamala Harris to this day. Those are the ones who will be like, well, you should have voted for. If you had voted for, we wouldn't be having the problems that we have. What problems? What problems? Seriously, what problems? It's been 100 days.
Kamala got elected. We'd probably be censored right now. We probably wouldn't be on YouTube.
Oh my God.
Rumble.
Absolutely.
For
absolutely.
Real.
No joke. We would have been canceled. We wouldn't have been able to say anything. They
go after independent media.
The first time I was canceled, because this actually happened to me, 2021, June of 2021, I refused to call a man a woman, and I got my account deleted for my Twitter account deleted for 119 days. What people don't understand is that
Crazy.
and this was when I love this, when I would hear from people who were supportive of what Democrats were doing. I'll never forget, I had people tell me, yo, like, oh, well, you deserved it. You were mean. You shouldn't have said that. I'm like, what?
Shouldn't have said the truth, man. Don't say it out loud.
Yeah, don't tell the truth because the truth makes people feel bad.
Don't say the biological truth, foundational biological truth that we've known was true for the entirety of human history anymore. Don't do that.
Yeah. But see, but again, it's like I said that, and I've also taken notice of, I mean, just like what I said with the gentrifiers here in the city. A lot of these progressives, and you're seeing it in these protests, in these riots, like these free Palestine chuds. They're all either college students or they're older, and they're nearly all white. Nobody wants to have that conversation.
I'm gonna tell you this. I've been noticing that throughout the years. Black people don't got the time to go out there protesting. We can't take off our jobs. Like a lot of these white folks that's in the city protesting work for nonprofits, don't work for the city, got their own thing going on. If something messes up, they could go back home. They probably got money already. Nobody moving to the city broke, right? So for like the past 15, 20 years, I've been noticing this. Why aren't, like, when things happen in the black community, we seeing more white folks marching than black folks? It's because black folks don't got the time to do it. We can't get off of work to say, hey, I'm calling off sick to go to this protest. They both see it and they out of a job.
Yeah. Yeah. We got work to do. We got shit to do. We busy.
But that's the government plan to keep us busy so we won't be doing no fighting.
Yeah. That's for sure.
That's a fact, man. And they pit us against each other on across racial lines and gender lines now, and
whatever they
lines,
can use,
name it. Yeah,
whatever they can use, whatever they can use to pit us against each other and have us fighting over ridiculous nonsense. And that is actually how much. I think I meant to ask you how long. I don't want to totally monopolize your time, Tramell. Are you good for now, brother? Or
yeah, we good.
Okay,
I gotta eat soon though. The VP gotta eat soon.
I got you. So
whenever you need to hop, Tramell, just let us know.
Yeah. Whenever if you got a hard, we call this like a hard out. If you have a hard out, just let me know what time.
I got you.
So here's what I really want to get. Something else I want to get into. This whole Shedeur Sanders thing.
Mm-hmm.
Are you into football, right?
Absolutely.
Oh wait, you still have? Please tell me. Do you have the Giants fan? You still a Giants fan?
I got Giants tattooed on my head.
Oh, so he's a real football fan.
Yeah, he about that life.
Yeah.
So
I got a Real Madrid tattoo on my arm, so I know what that's like, man.
I feel you. There we go.
Spanish football.
I have no tattoos yet, so I'm the newbie here. Yeah, 42, no tattoos, virgin skin.
Can't believe you don't have a DC United tattoo, man. You got a DC United patch on you. I guess you don't need one. You're always wearing DC or New York.
I am, but honestly, I really need DC to get it together. But anyways, we'll talk about that. That's another thing.
So what's his name? How you say his name? Shedeur
Sanders. Yeah, Shedeur.
Shedeur.
What type of? Listen, that little bastard pissed me off this weekend. Everybody wanted to make this a racial thing. You had people literally losing their shit that Shedeur Sanders did not make. Picked up the first round of the NFL draft. I don't even like the fact that football, the NFL, is being politicized as it is. But let's just keep it a buck about this boy Shedeur. Now, Shedeur Sanders, for those who don't know, Shedeur Sanders is the son or one of the sons of former NFL cornerback, Hall of Famer, and current head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes college football program, Deion Sanders. Okay,
Prime time.
Yeah, prime time.
That's back when I used to watch football, Isaiah. I know that.
And so this guy, so Shedeur Sanders is the quarterback, or was the quarterback for the Colorado Buffaloes. Okay, and he was he entered the draft. There was no way he was going to go first overall. I know a lot of people wanted him to go first overall, and I'm just like, no, because Shedeur is not that good. He's a very mediocre quarterback, if we're being honest. And his record at Colorado, he didn't have any bowl wins. He was like 1-8 against bigger opponents. Okay, so people really thought, but that didn't stop people from wanting to see him get drafted in that in the first round. Homeboy went from first. He didn't get picked up until the end. Until he went 144th overall, and went to the Cleveland Browns.
And that team is already stacked with quarterbacks.
No, they're not. Oh, well, they're stacked. They're stacked, but it's going to be a QB war because they got Joe Flacco and
Watson.
Nah, fuck him. Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is a non-factor. Deshaun Watson re-injured his Achilles, and he's going to be out all of 2025.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he took some photos with a girl. I guess it was his a girlfriend or a fiance or whatever. He was supposed to wear a boot to protect to keep his ankle immobile. And he took some pictures. He was taking some pictures and did not have it on. And so he blew up. So what ended up happening was he ruptured his Achilles again. And now he's going to be out until 2026.
Oh, wow.
So the Browns needed a quarterback. They needed a quarterback. But so they end up picking up Shedeur Sanders. Now, the reason why what did you think of all this? Did you follow any of this?
I followed all aspects of it.
What did you think of it?
I do think that race played the factor. I think that the way he carried himself played the factor. And I'm gonna say this: what we forget when we watch sports are that these are corporations, right? And you're a rookie, right? So one part of you getting the job is your ability to play the game, right? Mm-hmm. The second part is what you have going on around you, right? So if you go into a job interview, because these is basically job interviews for these young kids. When they go in the NFL combine or when they go into these teams to go speak, these are interviews. You leave the chains at home. I got chains. I know when to bring it. I know when not to bring it, right? You leave the chains at home. You leave all the rap stuff, the swag, all that stuff at home. There's a time and a place for all of that, right?
Yep.
And then what they tried to say was, oh, they doing this to him because he got a strong black father. You're smacking in the face of all the other draftees saying that they didn't have no strong black father.
Yeah, it makes some sense. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So with Shedeur.
Hold on. Before you go any further, this also don't help. This don't help right here. Let me just play this right quick.
What is that? Is that his room? What is this?
This is a custom made this is where his draft party was taking place.
Legendary.
Yeah.
Why is he legendary?
Why is he legendary?
His dad is legendary.
Right.
I don't know about him.
You notice, so he had 20 teams up. Right.
I mean, he'd have to win like the NCAA championship to be saying something like that, right?
Exactly. But he's 20 teams. There's 32 teams in the NFL. Why only 20 teams? Oh, but it gets better. It gets better.
It's mad dumb.
Right. Legendary. Look at that.
Look at Jesus. That. Come on, bro. That's actually really embarrassing. He had this whole thing, and he went like what he was 144th pick.
I want to push back against that. I don't see nothing wrong with him doing that because he got that from his father. His father was a flashy guy, and they want to make everything into a movie. And I am not. See, this is why I'm glad. I was upset, not upset, but when LeBron did what he did with Bronny and the way he protected him to make sure that these certain things went through, I see why he did it now, because Dion wanted the same thing for his son. Right now, we look at all of these black athletes that do this. Why we didn't look at when Jeannie Buss took over the Lakers? Did she deserve that because that was her father? They couldn't find a better person to do that type of business for the Lakers. But when it comes to black athletes, we criticize them more. And I think that this is part of the MK Ultra that we do to ourselves, to question things that happens that black folk do, but when rich white folk do it, there's no issue with it.
That I'm gonna be honest with you. That means that doesn't mean anything to me as a guy who calls balls and strikes on both sides. You know what I'm saying? I don't see, to me, that's gaudy, unearned bullshit. Yeah. That whole thing is gaudy, unearned bullshit. There's no need for any of that. I don't like Nepo babies.
Yes, I don't. It's Nepo baby stuff. All of it. Everything you just mentioned was Nepo baby stuff.
Right. I don't like Nepo baby shit. I don't. And let me show you something else. This was the Combine interview. And this when I watched this, I'm like, nah, bruh. Hold on. Here we go.
If you ain't trying to change the franchise or the culture, don't give me. So you should know history repeats itself over and over and over. And I've done it over and over and over. So it should be no question why NFL franchise should pick me. You think I'm worried about what critics say or what people got to say? You know who my dad is? They hated on him too. So it's like it's almost normal. Without people hating, it's not normal for us. So we like diversity. We like everything that comes with the name. That's why we are who we are.
Yeah.
The problem I have with that is that he didn't win anything.
I think that's our point. That's our point, Tramell. I mean,
that's my point.
If he was literally a legend of the university or NCAA, we'd be like, okay. I mean, it's still over the top bragging. I know Dion did that, but Dion was a fucking man. You know, Dion was the man. So you could do that. You could wear the big chains and talk about how you're the man and you're a legend. It's like, well, all right, it's Deion Sanders. But what the hell did his son do? Like I think that's the point.
I mean, how can he talk about doing something on an NFL level that he didn't do on a college level?
Exactly.
Right. So that's do his arrogance get in the way? Absolutely. Like, you know what clip you should have had? I'm surprised that you don't have it. Well, you probably got it. I ain't even gonna lie. There's a clip between him and Cam Ward where he was asking Cam Ward, yo.
Who was asking Cam Ward?
Shador. Like he asked Cam Ward, hey, where we go do a song together? Cam Ward said, I play football. Do a song. You focusing on that. I want to be the best football player. I don't want to be the best. I don't want to be the best rapper. You know what I'm saying? So it shows that Shador, in my opinion, he can't separate the two because
he's getting ahead of himself, man. That's really what it is.
A lot of his clout is because of who his father is.
Exactly. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So Cam Ward didn't have that famous father. He had to work. Not saying that Shador didn't have to work, but there was no red carpet laid out for Cam Ward where you got this famous family member that's walking you into certain doors. No, Cam Ward is trying to be the best Cam Ward. Shador is trying to be the best version of his father.
And it sounds like he's focusing on his job, Cam Ward. And he's like, if Shador was a dope NFL player, all-star, Pro Bowler, and it's like, then you go, hey, maybe I want to do rap too. And you're still focused on your game as well, but you do a little rap on the off season, whatever. That's cool. But you gotta show up and be that guy in NFL first before you talk about being a legend. You can't just say you're a legend that you haven't done much.
Look what happened. If you guys seen when they prank called Shador Sanders, where he only gave the number to the coaches of the teams. Somebody leaked the number and said, hey, I forgot what team they said, and they act like that they was the coach. And he was like, yeah, basically what took you guys so long? Then they told him it was a prank, and then shut him down. Like, yo, dude, you're moving pretty, and I love the entertainment. Don't get me wrong, and I want to see him win. I want to see him be successful and create a name for himself. But Deion didn't do a good job telling him like, yo, this is my success.
Right.
This is not yours.
Exactly.
This is my success.
And again, that's the difference. That's the difference between. I'll give you a great example of it. This is the other reason why I really don't like what Shador is. And I don't like that Deion didn't break this out of him.
Yeah, I was going to say real quick. I don't want to. I'm just real quick, like 2 seconds. I was going to say I think a lot of this falls on Deion, unless his son's personality is like so out of control that he can't. I think he's going to be like, hey son, just be humble, and then if you're the man later on, then you can start doing this. But go ahead.
First off, that is the progeny of Deion Sanders. Deion ain't never did anything by halves. So it's already in that boy's DNA to not do that, right? But here's the thing. If Shador was, say, a cornerback, a wide receiver, okay? If he was doing that kind of position where you have to have that inflated ego, that Keyshawn Johnson mentality, give me the damn ball. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm dating myself. I don't give a shit.
I know
that Keyshawn Johnson, give me the damn ball. I can do this, right? I'm the man up in this piece, right? If he was a cornerback or a wide receiver, I would have totally understood the antics. However, you a quarterback. Now, as a quarterback, you are the quarterback is the most important position in American football. Okay. And for more than just what the quarterback does on the football field. The quarterback is the face of the franchise. I said this in a video earlier this week. You cannot think of, usually when you think of quarterback, or you think of a football team, the first thing you're going to think of is the quarterback. You're not going to think of the Baltimore Ravens, my football team since 1996, since day one. You're not going to think of, you're not going to think of the Ravens without thinking about Lamar Jackson. You're not going to think about the Miami Dolphins if you don't at least think of Tua Tagovailoa, or if you're of a certain age, Dan Marino. You're not going to think of the New York Giants without thinking about Daniel Jones.
Oh, no, I think about the New York Giants without Daniel Jones.
I talk shit about the Giants all day long. Don't mind me. Big Blue, since when? Anyways, but the quarterback is the head of a franchise. Okay, he is the face of a franchise. When you think of, I'm gonna just go to my team, the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson is such a presence. He is such a humble young man. Okay. He is someone who, even when he was drafted 32nd, he was the last one drafted in the first round. And he got up on stage when it was his, when the Ravens picked him up. And the first thing that boy said was, they're going to get, I'm a Raven. They're going to get a Super Bowl out of me. And he has never, the things that boy has done on the football field. Lamar Jackson, in my opinion, and I know we could talk errors, we could talk yards, we could talk stats, we could talk, Super Bowl rings or whatever. Lamar Jackson is the greatest quarterback I have ever seen play the game. The things that boy has done on that football field in his short time. We talking about a kid. They were trying to take him. They were trying to get him to change positions. They wanted Lamar to be a wide receiver or a running back. And every single year that Lamar Jackson has been breaking teams over his knees. God help you if you're an NFC franchise. Because his record against NFC teams is something like 30-something and 2. It's crazy, right? He just recently, and I'm going on about Lamar. Lamar is such a presence in that locker room. Derrick Henry, the biggest, baddest, most dangerous running back in the game of football right now, said he wants to retire a Raven. And he wants to do it because of Lamar Jackson. Okay? Tell me something. Who's going to want to retire under Shedeur Sanders? With a Shedeur Sanders? Who's going to want to go? What offensive lineman is going to want to go to bat for that motherfucker when you waving your rollie in people's faces on a football field? You're waving your rollie at the end of games, and you talk and you remember it in internet beef after a win. Like, come on, man. I get it. Like I get it. You're a bad motherfucker. You can be that. You can be that. But guess what? When it comes now, you got to get up on that line. Now you got to get through training. Let's see if you can beat old man Flacco for the QB1 spot in Cleveland. That's what I want to see.
I don't think that he's going to start this year.
I don't either.
I don't think he's going to make that team.
Go on.
I think it's like 4 quarterbacks ahead of him. He's the 5th one. Even what you saying with Watson being out, I don't see them having him on the squad except the practice squad.
Why is that, Tramell? He's just not good enough?
I mean, nobody go have 5 quarterbacks in uniform.
So you think the other 4 guys are going to be better than him, or is it going to be too much of like a locker room headache, or both?
I think that with Shedeur, he's going to get in his own way, right? And when we look at how sports teams treat people who come with his type of mentality, when we look at how they treated Allen Iverson, when we look at what they doing with John Morant, right? Now we have Shedeur and everybody else who want to live this hip hop rap culture and bring it into these corporate billion-dollar industries. These folks that own these corporations and these owners is not having it, right? So now, if Shedeur was a winner, where he won the bowl game with the top trophy in college football every time, then they accept some of his antics. Right. But when you're not a winner and you don't have your leverage can't be my father's Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
My dad owns a dealership.
So I mean, it sounds like Tramell, you're saying that it's not about race. Then really, it's about he's not good enough.
Do I think race plays a factor?
Baby.
I believe that some of that. There's no way possible he slides to the 5th round, right? Because it's not like he's trash. The Giants drafted a guy named Jackson, whatever, Doc. He's trash. For a fact, he's trash. He's worse than Shador, right? And I do think that race played the factor, the same mechanism that kept Colin Kaepernick out of the league and all this other stuff. I believe it's the same mechanism here. And once again, he did it to himself for the most part. But I think race played the factor.
It sounds more to me like it's a headache thing, because like if he was like a really great attitude and a fantastic quarterback, like he probably would have been first pick somewhere.
Listen, we live in the United States of America. It's ran by two things: money and race.
Okay. Let me tell you something. Colin Kaepernick. Ooh, I don't like him either. I actually am disgusted by Colin Kaepernick, because see, Colin Kaepernick was good at one point, and then he stank up the joint. And then as soon as he's stinking up the joint, do you not when he got benched for blank? I do. Remember when he could be a football. Now, Grant, I was good up after 7 when we be down in New is when the race is the hardball.
I say you're breaking up a lot.
Yeah, you're breaking up a lot. Over there.
I can't really hear what you're saying. You know, if you can close some windows or something, maybe that would help. I don't know if that, because it's really hard to hear you.
It's like, oh,
lost in the digital multiverse right now.
Oh, yeah, I'm lost in the verse. What the hell?
you lost in the Matrix right now.
You're getting capped right now, man. Getting Kaepernick right now.
Yeah, crazy right now.
Yeah, you're definitely
Kaepernick. Am I still?
Yeah, you're still breaking up a little bit better, but you're still breaking up a lot. Maybe you're back.
I'm home. I'm back soon. Okay.
I think you might be back now. Go ahead.
Oh,
no, he's not back.
Kaepernick.
Nah.
You're not back yet.
Yeah, I'm still.
There you go.
Okay,
go. I hear.
Okay,
I hear you.
All right. Kaepernick was trash from 2013 till about 2015 till when he left the league, and it was as soon as he left the league, as soon as he was on his way out, that's when they caught him kneeling, and that's when they started making his kneeling the bigger thing, because they just wanted to up his profile. I'm like, that was wrong. And then he got benched for Blaine Gabbert. I knew. You want to know when I knew that Kaepernick was a fraud? When he told black people not to vote. When he told black people not to vote, and when he said that Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump were the same.
Wow, he said that?
Yeah, he did. He sure did. I knew Colin Kaepernick was a fraud when him and that bitch Eric Reed ran roughshod over Malcolm Jenkins and the organization that he had started. Okay, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but essentially what Kaepernick and Eric Reed were trying to do was monopolize the social justice, all the social justice activism in the National Football League. I will find that link. It's an old piece. When I read it, I was immediately like, oh, okay. I was immediately on some fuck Kaepernick shit after I read that. The last straw for me regarding Cap was in 2019. He had been begging all them years to get back in the league. And this was after he called Steve Bisciotti. He called Ray Lewis. He called Ray Lewis Steven from off of Django Unchained. Okay? Yeah, I remember that. No, I'm sorry. That wasn't him. That was his girl. That was Nessa Diab. Ness Nitty. You probably know who she is. She on Hot 97. She called Ray Lewis. Now, mind you, Nessa is not black. It'd be bad enough if a black woman did this. Okay?
That's Sam Jackson's character. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It would have been bad enough if a black woman had done this. And the fucked up thing is about that was that the Ravens were going to sign him. The Ravens were going to sign Colin Kaepernick.
That's crazy.
And Nessa blew that up.
Woo.
But then the last straw with him was in 2019 when Jay-Z and Stephen A. and a bunch of other people, when they got him when they finally got him that opportunity and was like, okay, we're going to do a mass, we're going to bring like all like scouts from 25, 26 teams, right? And they went down to the Atlanta Falcons facility. And remember, they wanted Kaepernick. They were bugging out about whether or not like Cap could bring his video people and all this because Kaepernick was like, well, I can't trust the league. I don't know if y'all gonna mess with the yeah. The day of the workout, this bitch went 30 minutes before he was supposed to report to the Falcons training facility. He goes and fucks off 60 miles away to Flowery Branch and decided to do an individual workout on a high school football field.
I remember that.
What the hell did you do that for?
And then this bitch, I don't like Kaepernick. This bitch decides, after his workout, he goes off to the side and he goes in his little soft ass, like fake Mike Tyson voice. Here, this message goes out to the NFL and all the owners. You quit running. Y'all quit running. We ready. We here. You punk ass bitch. You were the one who ran 30 minutes before you were supposed to report to the Falcons training facility. You the one who ran. And that was when everybody washed their hands of Colin Kaepernick. And that's when they knew that he was a fraud. Now, do I think Shedeur is that bad? No, I don't. Shedeur can play. I will say that Shedeur, but my issue, like you said earlier, my issue with Shedeur is you ain't did shit to be talking this big, bruh. That's why I said his offensive line, he better be kissing that offensively. He better be kissing the ass of every single one of them big motherfuckers on that line and make sure that they protect him. He better treat that offensive line if he does get named the starter. And look, shout to Kevin Stefanski because Coach got his hands full.
You think he gonna be a starter?
Bruh. You got Joe Flacco. Don't get me wrong. Shout to Joe Flacco. Flacco is I have nothing but respect for Joe Flacco. Flacco ain't going to start the whole season. He's old. Flacco our age, for goodness sake, or close.
But is Sanders next in line though?
No,
I don't know.
I think he's last.
I haven't seen the Browns depth chart yet.
They got 5 quarterbacks. They drafted a guy before him. There's another rookie on the team.
Now,
why did they draft him anyways if they got 5 quarterbacks? That's what I don't get. I mean, they want another Johnny Football? What's the deal?
No, some of them will be in the practice squad.
Oh, sure.
Right.
But now I understand why people were mad at the Steelers. Because the Steelers are still waiting on Aaron Rodgers to see what he gonna do.
That was a foolish mistake right there. But once again, why didn't they draft
Gabriel?
Why didn't they draft Shedeur?
Because you want my honest opinion?
Yeah.
Because Mike Tomlin's an idiot and only worried about 9 and 8. Because I'm dead serious. The Steelers, Pittsburgh, we call them down in Baltimore.
Hey, my mom's from Pittsburgh, man. Watch it.
Is she, or you just fucking with me right now?
No, she is. She is.
Oh, okay.
That's good. That's all right. Don't worry. I'm just fucking around. I know it's just football talk. Go ahead.
The thing about the Pittsburgh, again, all Tomlin worried about. See, Tomlin is another one who got one Super Bowl and just decided I'm a cruise. See, at least with the Ravens, okay. The Ravens, who are one of the best, I'm saying top 3 organizations in the NFL. At least the Ravens will blow your ass out 14 and be like 14-3 or 13-4. We'll win the AFC North, but it may be going like the second round or the AFC title game, right? We'll at least get to the playoffs. Tomlin don't, and really, I'm gonna even say the Rooney family. I'm not convinced that they actually want to compete. Just get to 9-8, keep his own personal streak going of no losing seasons, and he good. But my thing is this, bro. You got no QBs. You traded for DK Metcalf. And I don't know why we talking football on a politics podcast, but you know what? I don't give a shit.
Let's get the football NFL hour over here.
Yeah, it's NFL. Yeah,
inside the NFL.
Yeah, well, it's NFL. Listen, we all football people. You traded for you signed DK Metcalf, bro. How you got all the other pieces
except the quarterback?
Like what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, Mike? You're gonna pray for TJ Watt to keep bailing out to keep bailing y'all out? Is that what y'all planning on doing? Anyways, like I said, I personally think, if you want my honest opinion, I think Dion gonna be Mr. Helicopter Parent. I think he's gonna try to get his boy the QB1 position. You watch, Tramell. Dion gonna do everything he can, short of taking a gun and threatening Stefanski personally to make sure his boy get that QB1 spot. Watch it.
I want to see how that's gonna work specifically with the Browns. Go to Deion Sanders' Twitter and his search bar put at Browns. A few years ago, he put a quarterback will be foolish to sign.
I saw that. I saw that. Serve that ass right. Serve that ass right.
So are the owners still the same there? Like, how's this going to work? I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Serve that ass right.
That's funny, man. One thing I want to say about Kaepernick, and I'll ask you guys this: like, why the hell does he keep on trying, or he kept on trying to? I don't know if he still is. Is he still trying to get an NFL? Is he still trying?
I think at this point right now, it's about attention to him.
That's what it is.
What I want to know though is why was he just very recently, if not still, trying to get into the NFL when he said that NFL players are basically slaves?
Because what else he's going to talk about? What else he's trying to stay relevant. I mean, I think, knowing the history of this country and especially with football, the combine is definitely like some slave type stuff. Back in slave times, the same thing that's happening in the combine happened on the plantations, right? The way it's about who's the biggest, who's the strongest, who's the fastest, who's this, who's that. When I was doing some research about that actually yesterday, and it was like, wow, this is real bizarre. But do I think I want to be an NFL slave? I'm a city slave.
Exactly. It's like I'd love to be a freaking NFL slave. Be that strong and athletic.
Give me $10 million. Give me $10 million.
That's my point, man.
I worked for 6 months out the year without, know what I'm saying? Like,
year off.
I'm a civil. Think about this. I'm a civil servant right now. I'm a civil servant. I'm treated like a slave. That's why y'all put me on this show right now, right? To talk about how transit workers is treated like slaves, how city workers is treated like slaves. I want to be a professional athlete slave. Let's bring that on.
That's perspective right there, man. That's perspective.
I got my whip in the back.
Yeah. I'll be come on, let me be that. Let me be that type of slave. Because
right. Me too.
The slave of with the members that I represent, we one paycheck away from being in the shelter. God honest truth. You know what I'm saying? So that's
especially in New York, living in New York. Yeah.
And guess what? The powers that be know the economic slavery part, right? Why wouldn't they look? The transit authority don't allow you to have dual employment. Why? Really? Because if they could control you economically, they could control every aspect of your life.
Ooh, that sounds pretty communist to me, man.
No, listen, you got they rarely approve dual employment. They know that you can't afford to live in the city in which we work, right? Which we work. They don't allow us to have dual employment, but it makes sense. If you want to control a group of people, you don't give them financial independence. That's the last thing you do when you want to control.
That's the last thing you want to do, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact, man.
So the fact of, why we get poor contracts, why work rules are so stringent, why police officers, firefighters, there's a residency requirement to work here, right? There's a lot of aspects that happen in New York City that we don't talk about, that we don't address, that was put in place by Democrats.
Exactly.
And if they didn't put it in place, they're upholding it because they're not trying to change it.
So this will be this is the last thing I want to ask you, because this is we're gonna switch gears.
Plus, Tramell's got to eat dinner too, so we gotta.
Oh yeah.
Let this man eat dinner.
All right, real quick.
Do a quick one. Yeah.
Do you think that the MTA, and this is random, but with this, the push for illegal immigration, these illegal immigrants that the from the migrant crisis to all this other stuff that's been going on, do you think that there was something in place? Oh, wild question. Was something in place to maybe bring some of those people in to work those jobs, and that way they could pay lower wages?
Absolutely. Wow. And I'm gonna tell you why. This is my guess, right? So things don't happen overnight. You plant a seed today, you don't eat the fruit
right
from that tree today, right?
That's very true. Yeah.
So let's think about this. Bus drivers, right? They made it easier for illegal immigrants to get licenses, right? You get a license, you could become a bus operator, right? You get a license, you could be working the trains, because now, even though you're not driving the train, right? You're operating it. You need a license to work here now. So you want to know what? Yeah, that's how it works, Isaiah. You need a license to be a conductor and a train operator now. Driver's license, yes. So when I got hired, I had to present my license, and they had to look at my driver's abstract. I don't know why, and I was a conductor, right? But yeah, I believe that there's something in play that they're going to get these immigrants to take these jobs, right? And I'm not against immigrants, because when I go to restaurants and I see the bus boys, the bus girls, when I'm in the club, there's a job for everybody to do. Black folk ain't taking certain jobs. Immigrants will take those jobs. You know what I'm saying? There's certain jobs that certain people will not take. That I never seen a Jewish bus boy or bus girl. Never been in a restaurant to see one. But I've seen South American ones, right?
Yeah.
But
I was a busboy.
Yeah, and I do believe that there is a play to get these people in to do those jobs at wages that Americans won't agree to, but they will, depending on what company they came from. And I think that there's a voting mechanism in place for them to give votes to a certain party.
And that's funny because unions usually don't like that, right? Aren't they very, very anti-immigration in a lot of ways, just simply because of that, because they know that their wages can be driven down by bringing these people in?
Unions are more that's not my experience. My experience is
it might depend on the industry.
As long as you could unionize them, I don't care. If we could organize,
they can turn on the scabs though, right? That's the thing. They could always just turn on the.
I mean when you look at what happened from COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
The MTA hired contractors to do the cleaning. Most of those people that was doing the cleaning didn't have papers.
Yes, right.
That was a fact. They didn't have papers. So
that's how it usually is.
That's scab
cleaning services.
TW Local 100 represents workers on the property. These contractors was allowed to come in and do this work. Some of them didn't have papers, and I think there was a lawsuit in place where they sued for prevailing wage. I think some Democrats was helping these immigrants from the contract sue for prevailing wage, because instead of them getting paid $17, $18 an hour, they were supposed to get paid $32, $30, whatever the cleaners get paid here. So yeah, it happens. But I do think that there's a play for these immigrants to come take some city jobs. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Once you got a driver's license, what can't you do? You could drive a sanitation truck. You could apply to be a firefighter. You could be a cop. You could be whatever. You got a driver's license.
I thought, well, wait a second. Don't you need, but you need like a CDL to operate a bus, right?
You could get it. I think you could get it during the 7-day training.
Oh,
they help you or something like that.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Look what they doing with NYPD right now. They lowering the requirements to become a cop now. You don't need 60 college credits no more.
Get out.
Yeah, they just changed that. They making it more physical. Now you have to do more running in exchange for the lowering of the college credits. So these jobs are gonna be more appealing to people who's not qualified.
These cops are fat out here. I don't mean that. I don't. Hold on a second. No disrespect.
We gotta clip that, man.
No disrespect to cops as a whole, but these cops out here could not. These cops out here can't. They can't even run water. That's how big they are out here. I'm a big dude. Okay. These cops are out of shape, man. I don't understand. Like how you gonna have more physical requirements if the cops that are coming in are out of shape? They're out of shape. And the cops who were in shape, you chased them out with your vaccine bullshit.
That's a fact.
So what fucking running are these cops doing? I mean that very, very seriously. Okay. I've like these cops can barely, like, I watch videos of protests, right? Where you get these watermelon communists, these Hamasheviks who are going into they rocking up to Jewish neighborhoods. They was in Crown Heights. They was on Eastern Parkway 2 nights ago and got that ass whooped. And these cops are getting overrun. They're getting overrun. They
definitely need more police out here. That job is too important to have tired cops and running them to the ground. That's not gonna make this city more safe.
It really isn't. It really isn't. And again, that's no, like what I said, there's no disrespect to the police force at all. But your cops are fat, bro. Your cops are fat. Your cops are fat. And let me tell you,
Hey, come on, stop fat shaming the cops, Isaiah. Come on, man.
No, I'm a fat shame cops. I'm a fat shame military people. I'm speaking as no. I'm ex-Army. My dad is ex-Army. My brother, who is a police officer down in Baltimore County, I have 4 brothers. My next to the youngest. He's a police officer, and he's a former Marine. I expect military and police to be the 2 most in shape positions that one needs to be. You need to be in top physical condition. Pete Hegseth, the current Secretary of Defense, found something out.
Tight.
Hegseth. Yeah, you want to talk. Well, first off, Hegseth is diesel. Is diesel. RFK Jr. I don't know how that old bastard got as ripped as he is.
Hey, don't talk about my friend like that.
Hey, man, no.
We're complimenting him.
No. That is not negative. Shout to RFK Jr. I don't know how that old man. That's
how he got Cheryl. That's how he got Cheryl. Man.
Okay, whatever secret he got, I want. Okay,
he works out. He hikes. He hikes 2 hours every day.
Push-ups and drinking bear urine every day.
My first time hanging out with him. My first time hanging out with RFK Jr., we went hiking in the Santa Monica Hills for 2 hours. He said he does this every day. I'm over there like, yo, I can't go no more. And he's just pumping along.
He's in shape. Now he's the man. RFK
Tramell, why are you back there so far away? You need to catch up, Tramell. Come on.
You need to get off your ass. You need to get off your ass and take a hike with me, Tramell.
I want to clear something up real quick about the.
He's a good man. He's a good man. We love him.
I want to clear something up about the bus operator stuff.
Yes, sir.
You get your you got to have your CDL permit.
Okay.
CDL permit, and then when you finish, you get your full training. You get your full CDL.
Okay, that's a copy. Thank you for clearing that up. But not in all seriousness, though. Tramell, shout to RFK Jr. That's a good man.
Somebody said
him.
Awesome.
If I did, that's awesome. You met him. He came in.
Guns and Noses is hyped about this. Guns and Roses.
Did I meet him? No, RFK Jr. is a friend of mine. If you go on my Instagram, Progressive Action @Progressive Action, it's probably like 20 different pictures, videos of him and I traveling through the country, having dinner, hiking, campaign trail. RFK Jr. actually helped me out so much, and by believing in me and trusting in me in his campaign, as being one of his senior advisors. So shout out to RFK
That's
Jr.
What's up, man?
Yeah, so that's really interesting. So it sounds like you know him very well. He's a man of character. He's a man of integrity.
Yeah. That's what's
up.
Listen,
man.
There's a man who knows him.
Look,
everybody.
I'm a kid from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. I was a transit worker. I raised a lot of hell in transit. He could have gotten anyone. He's a Kennedy, right? He's cut from that cloth. He could have gotten anyone.
Royalty. That's American royalty,
right? And he gave me an opportunity to be on his journey, and I will forever be appreciative of the opportunity that he gave me. He's a down-to-earth guy. He listens. I mean, I can't ask for it. He's not like my boss. He's my friend. You know what I'm saying? We started off as friends. He called me when he said he was running for president and asked me to join him. And when we finally linked up and I earned my keep, he said, Tramell, I need you and I can't take no for an answer. I said, what?
That's what's up, man. Are you still in touch with him or no? You still in touch with him, Tramell?
I spoke with him the other day. It's
awesome,
not like
he cool.
FaceTimed me from the White House, right? But it's not too often where people from my community get opportunities like this, right? And there's not too often. How many people could say that they could contact a Kennedy whenever they want?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Me and him, we got that type of relationship. Like I said, I called him the other day. He ain't pick up. He FaceTimed me from the White House. You know, that's my guy. You know what I'm saying?
That's cool, man. Because he has so many people that hit him up now, want something from him, and he still answers your calls.
He still answers my calls, answers my texts, everything.
That's a good man. Sounds like a good man.
That's what's up. All right, Tramell, we've kept you away from your chicken paw, man.
Yeah, you know what? Look, I may have to go to Bojangles now. My food probably cold. I probably got to go to Bojangles now to go grab some food.
Do we even have those here in New York?
I'm not in New York right now. I'm not in New York right now.
Well, then I stand corrected.
Yeah.
Well, so Tramell, I want to thank you very much for coming on to the show tonight. This has been a lot of fun. You are welcome on the show anytime, by the way. I want to thank you for all of your insight on everything from transit to football to Mr. Kennedy. Greatly appreciate your time, my brother. Thank you so much. And I have to say, I'm thankful. I'm glad that we spoke outside of when we spoke last year, and I got to know you a little bit, and I'm glad to have been wrong about you, brother. I really am. So thank you for your time tonight. God bless. And I'll be in touch.
Well, I want to tell you that because I didn't know that you had such an awesome following. I'm proud of the work, that you're doing out here. I think it's very important for these independent platforms that's not controlled by money, but controlled by logic and thought and what they feel in their heart. I definitely appreciate what you have going on. I've been paying attention to you a lot. Very entertaining. You speak from the heart. I love your videos. And I think you guys got a great thing going on here.
Oh, thank you, Joel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For anybody who's looking to contact me, right now my Instagram is like through the roof. I'm at like 5 million views for the month.
Ooh. Hell yeah. All right.
Damn, all right.
So if you want to see what I got going on and see how I advocate for my members, there you go right there. The IG is at Progressive Action. And I'm here, Isaiah. Once again, you guys keep up the great work. I appreciate what you guys going on, and it's very important. And to the people who's watching, support platforms like this.
Thank you, brother.
Support platforms like this. This is where you're going to get the truth. It's not these sound bites, these long form platforms where you get the chance to really commingle with people who don't feel like they're on the ivory tower. But you may run into Isaiah, you might run into Chavez on the train or on the bus, walking the streets. They're not too good enough to not engage with you. And this is what we need in our media and in our leaders too. Our leaders are there to represent our interests, and we don't work for them. They work for us.
They work for us.
That's right.
That's what we have.
It's the American way, man. Yeah, 100%, man. We're men of the people. I think all three of us.
Exactly. So y'all have a good night. Isaiah, whenever you want me back up here, I'm a phone call away, my brother.
You are more than welcome, my friend. Thank you so much. Go get your Bojangles, all right?
I gotta get my Bojangles, man.
We'll have you on again, brother. Appreciate it.
All right, brother. Peace. Yo,
that was nice.
That was great. That was coming from him. That means a lot. Like he's been through a lot in his own right.
Just I don't know his full story behind it.
I'll tell you off air.
Yeah, we could talk. Yeah, we can talk.
But that guy, he's impressive. Maybe one day he can. Maybe we could put up. We could have RFK Jr. on the show. I would love that.
Oh,
I would love to have him. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming on the program tonight. I want to thank you. I want to thank, as always, Mr. Nostra Chavez for being my wingman tonight, as always. You can there are 2 ats at Instagram on X. I know I've been a little out of sorts today. It's been a pretty busy day, but I'm glad the show went better than I expected. Thoughts, sir? What thoughts do you have as we begin to close out?
Yeah, man, that was a great conversation. We went in a lot of different directions. I think the even the football conversation was good. It was it's something that people are talking about right now, and we commented on Cap, which is pretty good too. That's funny. But yeah, that was a great talk with Tramell. Tramell's I know we probably don't agree on everything with him, but he's a straight shooter. He's an honest guy, and this is the kind of show we want to be, man. We want to be a forum for people who can speak their minds and not be controlled by the media narrative and not be tribal. We have debates, we can have disagreements, and it's still, we're still Americans here. Or hopefully all patriots that come on the show.
This is true.
Yeah.
So next week, we are scheduled to have Danny Pearlstein with Riders Alliance. So now, so we segue right from that, from having patriots on the show to we're going to actually have a real communist on the show. We did Mr. Danny Pearlstein. We will be talking about congestion pricing, bike lanes. He is one of many bike lane people. I'm gonna just be honest with you, and I'm gonna just go ahead and just put this out here right now. If Ben Furness, matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and do this right now. Let me do this right now, because I want to be very, very sure to make sure I get the way. So I got a friend of mine, Mr. Charlie. Okay, this guy, and I'm gonna play his video right here. Okay, just real quick. This guy actually tried to reach out to Ben Furness. Ben Furness is the executive director. This guy, executive director of Transportation Alternatives. Yeah, typical white liberal. Well, communist, really. And this guy went to Charlie Panoff, C.E. Panoff, actually called him and tried to get a hold of him. This is what happened. Just watch.
Hey, Ben, Charlie Panoff. How are you? I'm good. How are you? I'm doing very well. You don't know me. I'm just a citizen of New York City, been here my entire life. And I am kind of at its end here. I'm going to be very honest. Sorry to be so late. Busy day. I want to finish in the next game. But I would love to go out for a cup of coffee or something to understand the philosophy behind all the stuff that you guys are lobbying for. Honestly, fathom other than it's making money for other people, because it's taking money from services that he desperately needs. And I'd like to have a civil conversation. And then,
sure. Why don't you email Ben at Tramell? But yeah, man, I'm just a New Yorker who cares a lot about the city and wants to make it a nice for everyone.
To be fair, you're in my opinion, no offense, you're not a New Yorker. You've not been here as long as I have. You were not born here. I was born in New York City, state, hospital, and county. Doesn't get more New Yorker than that. I've seen it all.
Where do you live in the city?
I live on the Upper East Side.
They go to public school. All right.
Yep. I've been to private school and public school, actually, in the city. I've done it all. I have a very interesting background. I've worked in financial services. I'm a real estate broker now. I've owned companies. I've worked in investigations. I've worked for startups. I've done it all. I've been here for 41 out of 42 years, spent 1 year in Charlotte. But yeah, I'm as New York as it gets. I don't pull my punches. And I really would love to know where where this is going to go because I'm.
I'm curious, what are the things that you find most effective?
Well, I mean, for one, the universal daylighting thing, people need cars, first off, and people do need parking. But let's put that aside. How much money is it going to cost to extend the curb of every intersection in New York City?
Okay, drop me an email. We can have a long. It's really not that much, my friend.
Okay, but how many people are hungry right now?
We spend all sorts of money resurfacing the streets, rebuilding infrastructure all the time. We're the richest city in the richest country in the history of the human species. I think we can make it easier for kids and families to cross the street. All right, we can.
I agree. I agree with that. Okay, I wholeheartedly agree with that. However,
it's pretty late at night. I'm with my family now.
Okay. So what was the email address?
It's just ben@transalt.org.
You got it. I'm going to email you right now.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
And that was this week. Panoff spoke with Ben Furness for about 3 minutes, and essentially Furness blew him off. Now, why is that important? Because Pearlstein is out that mob too. Different name organization, same fucking mission. So let me just be let me be clear. Furness never contacted my boy Charlie there. Okay? Never contacted him. Pearlstein, you're on notice. You try to back out on this, you forfeit any and all credibility that I will ever give your organization. You run from, or if you even think of running from our debate next week.
Don't be a bitch.
Exactly.
Don't be a little bitch, Pearlstein.
You run from this fucking interview.
Don't do it.
I will let every single person here in New York City know that the people who want to end car ownership and the people who want to throw all of us into the subway and put everybody in 15-minute cities to live, y'all are too chicken shit to defend your own values. So you challenged me a couple weeks ago to come on to the show. Okay. You want your spot on the show? You got it next week. Now I challenge you to stay, and I challenge you to keep your end of the bargain.
That's right, Pearlstein.
You bring your ass to this show so we can reason like men.
Better not have any last minute excuses.
I want no last minute excuses. You bring your ass on this show.
I have a family emergency. None of that shit.
Anyways, exactly. Anyways, that's our time tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. Support the show at buymeacoffee.com/Apostate Radio. You see, we are about that action. And we will see you next week. Take care.
That's right.